I used
taking
to
up
have
all the room.
this
I'm going to
stream is
change
live.
my camera because I got the wrong camera selected. There we go. It's
I have to look at this
Oh.
camera, otherwise, because you are there, but you have to look here. I've got to change sides.
better.
I'm literally here tomorrow to ask you about Booklift stuff, and then I'm going away.
Oh, no, you're not. Don't be silly.
Well, then, fine. I'll listen. I'll say nothing and be
Oh,
insightful.
I'll be back.
Okay, I just put
Now
my
I have to
camera
say
on
something
high
because
definition.
Bells went away.
Well, I'm still kind of here, but I'm just not in front of the camera.
I have got. I don't know. So this. I don't know how to change the background.
Oh, so yeah, because I feel a little I feel it's like this is Maddie's thing, but anyway. So I ended up buying this because
Found it.
listening to it is good, but I need to see it as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I bought this too.
Same author.
No, different.
Oh,
This is
another day in the colony. Yes.
yeah.
Hey.
That's me.
we got a whole crew going on now. Woo!
Yay.
I need
Chelsea.
to figure out
Water go.
that.
Yep.
WATEGO.
I found it.
Yeah.
I got the
Let
light
me
on.
just
Hold on.
let me read
Don't hold on, but you know what I mean.
yeah. I'll read the thingy. What's it called? The blurb.
Blurb,
In
yeah.
this collection of deeply insightful and powerful essays, Chelsea Watergo examines the ongoing and daily racism faced by First Nations peoples in so-called Australia. Rather than offer yet another account of the Aboriginal problem, she theorises a strategy for living in a society that has only ever imagined Indigenous people as destined to die out. Drawing on her own experiences and observations of the operations of the colony, she exposes the lies that settlers tell about Indigenous people. In refusing such stories, Chelsea narrates her own fierce, personal, sometimes funny, sometimes anguished. She speaks not of fighting back, but of standing her ground against colonialism in academia, in court, and in the media. It's a stance that takes a toll on relationships, career prospects, and even the body. Yet, when told to have hope, Watergo's response rings clear: fuck hope, be sovereign.
Yeah.
And fun fact, she is the mentor for her.
Ah, there you
There
go.
you go. Both academics, amazing academics.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely.
I have been speaking to elders, or I say elders, they're not recognized elders, but they're members of the stolen generation. Anyway, they are older than me, so they're elders. And just hearing some of them, they've got kids that are politicians, doctors, academics, and all this amazing thing. And it's like, you know what?
Yeah,
We beat the system. We beat the system. We beat the system that was designed to harm us.
yeah.
The win's win.
Hmm. I like
Can I
your
ask you?
face, Lily.
I like
Hi,
your
Lily.
face. Hi all.
I don't like my face. That's why I hide underneath this John Almost beard. I was not being
I
self-deprecating.
think sometimes,
before you
like,
tell
I'd
me.
love to be able to grow a beard, but the sensory overwhelm, like, I can't even handle having eyebrows. There's no way in fuck. I would genuinely
Funnily
rather
enough,
have a beard on
I
my
have the
face.
opposite when I don't have a beard. After so many years of having a beard, I have sensory overload from not having a beard. I can't actually shave it
Too
off
much
anymore.
skin
Weird.
has access to the world.
There's too much like stuff like goes on your face. I can't deal with it.
I just have to
Tomorrow,
know you
no,
guys
Belinda,
quickly.
you
I've been
reminded
mucking
me of.
around in the background, and
Oh,
this is just the layout that I made
Um,
quickly. Hang on.
Go, Kim.
Here you go.
no, you reminded me of something that I can't remember the name. Liz, someone or other. I can't remember the name. Damn it!
Wait,
That
let
whole
me
thing was like.
Liz, as in
Documents.
Aboriginal.
No, she's a
Aboriginal author?
no, she's not. She grew up in Nottingham in the UK, but she talks the similar vein about being she's talking about being a working class academic growing up. She came back, she started working, I can't think what the knicker factory is, it's a very famous knicker factory in Nottingham. Got out of school at like 14, whatever, went into the knicker factory type thing, was like working class fucking poor, like dirt fucking poor in the UK, and pulls on many similar threads. She's an anarchist, but I can't think, I'm going to find her fucking name. She wrote a book and then she published, and then she got together over COVID. She published another book, which was a bunch of like working class stories about what was happening in the UK at the same time for like piss poor people doing the same thing. Yeah, got to find it now.
After
Probably
reading
my list
this,
of things to do.
after reading this, I'm going to say maybe it is the same, maybe it is different.
Yes.
Because the different witnesses, the different voices. Yes, it's interesting. Just the narrative. Tamara and I have briefly spoken about how it's like, yeah, the narrative is so interesting, and it's so fucking.
I'm getting a lot of feedback on somebody's mic. I'm just trying to figure out.
It's probably me moving. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. It's all good.
Is that better?
I'm trying to like get it just settled, and then I looked and realized that my battery's about to die. So I was just plugging my phone in as well. I'm like, for fuck's sake, Lily, just have one thing.
No, it's all good. I'm just going to click reduce background noise on yours then, and that'll stop it. You're all good.
Is that better? I've got a little desk fan going, so that could have been it too.
It stopped now, whatever it was, so it's all good. Don't stress. Don't stress. There you go.
We can take equal blame. That's okay. I'm happy to take some.
Share.
Sharing is caring in every regard.
Yeah.
Give me some blame.
I had to turn my feedback off because my kids keep talking in the background, and I was like, I could hear them twice, so I can't even hear myself anymore, so I don't know what I sound like. I'm sorry.
You sound like Tamara on a live.
Excellent. We're all still alive. So we're going to come up with a name for this place. I know that we're very excited. I know everyone's very excited.
All right. Brainstorming. Okay. So, the one thing I was going to say, Lil, is about language. Like, language is ace. However, if you don't know your own language, it's so hard. And then some people take, but it's good. It's good to discuss as well, because it's like, some mob are very protective, and which I understand. I get it. But then there's
it's just one of my values and things like that. Like, when we're talking about the healing and things like that, you can't do any sort of healing and things like that. You can't do any sort of self-work if you're disrespecting the environment around you.
Absolutely.
So first and foremost, we need to respect the environment. So, and if we're not, then everything else is going to fall apart too.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Being a pretty fundamental part of what we're about.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
but again, I'm the whitest person in the room, so
I'm pretty sure I'm actually the whitest person in the room.
I was going to say, I think that's Kim.
Have you seen my knees?
We'll have a white off one day.
Oh God, a white off.
Kim's also a cis man, so
I'm sorry. We've seen what the white offs resulted in. Like, we've had like the War of the Roses, the War of the Religions, the religious war, the fucking colonization wars.
We invented a whole.
White offs. We've had enough of the white offs.
We invented a whole fucking new religion in my country just so you could divorce someone. Okay.
Yeah.
Who created that? Oh yeah, a man.
Like we took a good idea and then we gave it to a king and then we fucked it up. Okay, that's how fucking bad it is. I'm going to the kitchen. Please excuse the noise. I am still listening.
We started a housing project that was basically called Mia Mort, which was like home, basically family is home sort of. That was the program that we started. And it took a lot of development and sort of consultation to come up with that name and sort of decide to use that name. And it was really good. And the project is still operating, but they aren't, for some reason, using that name in any of their literature anymore. I don't know
We also
why.
want something that's accessible, and let's be honest, a lot of won't even try to pronounce a lot of things, or will assume that it's not for them.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's the other problem that comes with it, is that I really wanted to do something like, my first sort of foray into looking at it was doing something around the Noongar language around fire and family, because those words were kind of, but it ended up being like more something.
Maybe like as things progress, we can get like a motto, like private high schools with the Latin.
Yeah, but we'll do it we'll do it in
language, not Latin.
Yeah. I like that. I like that idea. So now I don't know, but that sticks me for the name though. Now I'm stuck. Now I don't know.
Motto in language.
Yeah.
Language. We need Amy Lipstick Sheep. They have great ideas about this stuff.
Yeah.
Language. I can't write. Not Latin. So I've written, doing the word mapping: home, community, land, connection, family. You wanted fire as well?
Well,
Did you say
fire's
fire?
Yeah. These are just the words that were kind of like community, home, warmth, fire, hearth. Like, they're the words that are all kind of
hearth. Yeah. Gathering around the fire, around the hearth.
It's all that gathering space. It's where you have those conversations. It's where you gain those deeper connections with each other by the fire.
Yeah.
Warmth, togetherness. Warmth, togetherness. Welcome. That can be like a not that we are traditional owners.
Like open.
Open. Yeah, open.
Is that what you meant by the welcome? Like that everyone?
Yeah, the two. Everyone's welcome, but also that culture, welcome to country, the acknowledgement of country. But yeah, the openness and everyone. It's for everybody. Everyone's welcome, kind of thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm over here trying to edit like the screen so that I'm not such a fucking big face of nothing over here. All good. They've made changes.
Okay,
should I turn my phone around so that my camera's sideways?
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine.
Are you sure?
Yes. No. So StreamYard has just made another update.
Just tell me what to do.
When did this become 4 Nerds 1 Stream?
There's nothing wrong with being a nerd, chat.
We literally, that was Dom specifically.
I'm a geek. Fuck off.
It was literally 13 minutes ago, Dom. It was 13 minutes ago.
Where can you see Dom? I can't see chat.
So I've actually got my laptop connected as well, so I can look at the Twitch chat.
I'm on
the Twitch chat.
My iPad. Yeah, that's what.
Have you got Twitch on your phone?
On my iPad.
So you're streaming on your phone, and then you're yep, got it. I actually saw a clip of a comedian do a stand-up thing about geeks and nerds and stuff, and it was actually quite funny. I'll have to find it now.
It's a very contentious language. It's very interesting that it's contentious as well. Because I would never describe myself as a geek, but I would describe myself as a nerd.
I don't have enough knowledge for nerdhood. I just go, ooh.
I'm just a weirdo. I'm quirky. I'm quirky. Where
Just
did
an
was-
insult for
Tamara go?
autistic. It's just your. It's just.
I
the-
was
it's just the '80s insult of autistic people. Does everyone like my view? It's lovely. Tamara's gone. Bye, Tamara. Tamara
Hi.
hates us. Tamara's back.
I'm just
I'm
I'm
actually
editing. I'm
going
just
to
messing around and
gonna-
editing back here. Don't
Oh,
mind
that's
me.
upside down. Wait, they're both
Upside
upside
down,
down.
Miss Jane.
I think you have to turn your
They're
camera.
both
turn your
upside
camera
down. Oh yeah.
Just depends
Oh,
which way you
no,
wanna
that's
face.
too much. That's too much. I'm too old and broken. I don't know anything about anything.
Oh, stop it, you.
Where did my big book go?
I don't know.
had a big
Where
book,
is
but
it?
I've
Literally,
lost
the
it.
things. The
I've
things
only
that
got
I'm
one book
forgetting
left in the
lately,
library, and now I've
it's
lost
so
it. I was
funny.
there.
God, I
Yeah.
watched some interesting shit on YouTube.
Okay, so whatever. We're just gonna do that. Phil, I can't. StreamYard is now just changed again.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Now I don't know. I suppose everybody here does understand when things change and you're used to using it, and then suddenly you log in and it's just changed, and you're just like, no, this is now a barrier to using this product. You've now created a barrier
Mhm.
for me.
My housemate changed the internet name and password 3 weeks ago, and I still don't have things reconnected in my room because it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
even the other day the printer, I tried twice and I literally just walked up to him and just said, please just do it.
Help. I can't anymore.
Daddy,
Yeah.
do it. About 5 minutes later, he came back and he went, all done. I went, oh, yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
awesome."
Yay. Why did you change it in the first place? Ha.
Yeah.
I'm just
Because
trying
he
to get the
wanted it
layout.
to have butts in it. He wanted
Oh.
the name to be butts.
Of course.
So, very, very worth it. Collapsing my entire room. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, can you just help me out when you make these I'm prepared
just
for
a heads
sacrifices,
up.
but
Just a heads up.
yeah, that's it. So look, I'm learning that even though I look at YouTube every day, I'm really discovering that my YouTube algorithm is cat videos, craft videos,
Yeah.
and cooking videos,
Yeah.
plus some reaction ones. There's the guy, the British guy that that comments on videos and stuff like that. But
I've
I
honestly
did
never been
see
a
it.
fan of the YouTube algorithm. It'll be good, especially listening to music. I'll get 3 songs and then it's just wild.
Yeah. Listening to
Yep.
music on
Someone's-
YouTube is a whole
someone's-
nother.
Someone's paid to get up.
And then it
In
just
the list,
sends
it's a bit like
everything on an
Spotify.
absolute tangent.
Yeah.
See, I don't mind Spotify, but I make all my own playlists.
I need sticky notes.
I'm a creature of habit. It's been in my life for 12 years now. It's a part of me. I can't help it.
Oh, I found it. There's an interesting video on antique pencil sharpeners. Someone's got an antique pencil sharpener collection. I found that very interesting, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can fuck with that.
You can fuck with that. I'm gonna put
I
it
follow a
in
guy on TikTok with antique lighter collection, so
Actually, I know someone who was
Yeah. Good point, Kim.
I thought so. I'm hoping my mute is working because I'm eating.
yep,
oh my goodness. Yeah, we can hear you.
we can't
I'm
hear you.
just-
No, we can't hear you chewing. It's okay.
See, that was so oblivious she didn't even get what was happening. That's how quiet your chewing is.
Kind of. I'm concentrating one thing at a time, man. One thing at a time.
I'm
Alright, so
putting.
that's
I'm going to put you in a circle, Kim. I'm making a little bit of a little funny layout over here. I'm having a
I
good
love a
old
circle.
time. Don't
Love a
mind
circle.
me.
It matches my head.
I can't put Belle in a circle because of where she's got
Because
her
Belle's
camera.
a square, man. She's a square.
Triangle fit in a circle.
Yeah.
Please tell me someone got the reference back to The Simpsons then.
I was actually thinking of it's a Tarantino movie. I'm talking about
Oh, I
Don't
don't
Be
watch
a
Tarantino.
Square Man.
I was too busy with the Missy Higgins reference. I like how we all just had our own individual
Our own
references
little-
then.
own
Do
little
the
reference there.
same
Own
thing,
little,
like
own little tree of things.
doo-doo-doo.
Tamara, can we be one of all of the four all of the four play school windows
Can
by
I be a
chance?
hexagon?
They don't have that many
Oh,
shapes,
yeah.
guys. It's not that advanced. I've got a circle or a square or a rectangle. They're your options. I know.
Fuck the arch window.
Oh, well, fuck everything, actually.
Yeah.
Cancel my
I wanna
subscription
be
to
the
life,
rocket
then now
clock.
that I can't be a hexagon.
I tried to make you a square, Lily, and it's still a rectangle, but it's nothing
Oh,
I
I
can
will
do
never
for
be
you.
square. Oh, whoa, man.
Oh,
Hey,
honestly,
Hip to be square.
yeah.
No.
It's hip to be square.
didn't get it?
See? Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Hip to
Of course.
be square.
Everything with Belle is a music reference. All right, we're going to save this as the Funky Four. And you're going to see how this is as creative as I could fucking get with this fucking window thing. It wouldn't let me get any more creative than this. This is as good as it gets, guys.
Woo-woo.
It's like,
Dun,
most of my
dun,
YouTube
dun,
algorithm,
dun, dun, dun.
a Russian guy trying to start a car off a bunch of mobile phone batteries. Yeah, most of mine is just actually, I did find when YouTube introduced shorts, my YouTube algorithm suddenly swung majorly right wing. Every second video was that fucking what's her face? That's the right wing Snow White who looks like Ben Shapiro's sister, but he's not actually Ben Shapiro's sister. She looks more like Ben Shapiro
This
than
is
Ben
so many
Shapiro's actual sister
descriptions.
does.
Is that Ben Shapiro's wife? Poor woman.
No, just this random young teenager who's a right-wing commentator now. But like every other video I was getting was from her. I got a couple of Candace Owens videos. And I was like, not interested. And literally, even still, I'm getting like, sometimes I'll get these polls that pop up on my YouTube algorithm, and I'll answer the poll just to see what the response was from people, just to figure out if that account that's recommending me is a right-wing account or not. And one of them was, do you think like China is a threat? Like the way that the question was worded, it was obvious that they were going for a specific answer.
As soon as I get those questions, I just completely exit out of the app.
And
I'm
I was like,
no, that's my sign.
And I responded and I was like, no, this is clearly just a racist question. And then the response was like 80% of people responded with the most racist answer. And I was like, oh yeah, block that account. That account is obviously built up an audience of racists, and that's why they're getting that kind of response. So yeah, that's not someone I want on my For You page. Thanks.
When the shorts came
Absolutely
in, I
not.
couldn't even watch through like people that I'm subscribed to properly.
No.
Like I'd be trying to watch videos that I've missed over the past month of just subscriptions, and shit would pop in. I'm like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'm glad they finally, because one of the things YouTube really fucking shitted me with was when someone you followed
It's
uploaded
Dino.
a short. Hello.
This is the bulbous babe,
Hello, bulbous baby.
and she hates everything.
That's my ninja. Ninja will come and rub up against my leg, and the minute I bend down to pat him, he scurries away like, how dare you try and touch me? But then he'll come and lay next to me and look up at me like, scratch me. How dare you not scratch me? And I'll start scratching. And at the same time that he's letting me scratch him, his body is actively moving away from me like, I'm not actually accepting this love. Just so you know. Oh.
She has
Those
resting
little
bitch
marks,
face.
they're perfect.
She's definitely resting
got a-
bitch face, that's for sure.
I've got an Atlas behind me too, actually.
This is
Well,
this is my Juno.
Come say hello.
I don't know. My
This
floofers.
is Atlas.
I don't know where my floofers are.
You say
What's
hi.
yours name, Kim?
Say hi.
This is Cucumber, who is named Cucumber Vine, daughter of Lolcat.
Best kid for
Oh.
naming pets.
Zeus.
We've lost a whole heap of people. What's going on?
Oh, they
Because they're all here.
don't. We know. True,
what?
true. They're all in
It's all
here.
No. I was talking about like Amy and because Amy was the first one who was like,
Amy
I'm going
had
to
to
pop up.
go. Amy had to go.
Oh, okay, I missed that. Like Amy was the
Yeah.
first one who was going to pop up, and there's no Amy. What's going on?
All right, so I have
I took
put
too long to get
in.
my shit together. Sorry.
I've put in. It's Don McMillan. He does the breakdown of a nerd or a geek, and he has a Venn diagram. The link's in the chat. So
Oh, is that the
Easy.
YouTube?
That's
Yeah.
easier than me having to find it. Oh, wrong window.
that's the second.
I can
the
open it on
second
my
link.
tablet and then it just opens in another tab, so that's all right.
It's the second YouTube link. The first one is the shorts one, and that's the antique pencil sharpeners, which I found very interesting.
So,
So we're trying to think of names.
well, yeah, but that's okay. I love that.
Barry.
I love that we're Barry.
Barry.
What about like I don't know.
Throw out some of the names that you've been thinking, Tamara, and we can rate them.
I can't think of a single fucking thing. I'm being like, I was thinking fork it farms, like fork all of this,
Fork this, yeah.
fork this shit.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
We could just
it's
go
kinda
like
like-
generic and pick a plant, but have it be a plant that is like
What's the
you know,
what's
the
the proper
whole
name for the
secretly
salt bush?
murder your husband herbs and things like that. Like
Rhubarb,
pick a bush that just
rhubarb.
rhubarb farm.
Rhubarb's disgusting, but
Rhubarb is
what's the
disgusting.
proper name for salt
Rhubarb
bush?
farm.
Saltbush.
Yeah.
Saltbush. The proper name, like the German name,
Just
the
makes me
Latin
think of
name.
the
No.
restaurant.
No, the actual name.
Pretty sure it's just called Saltbush. Isn't it?
Let me consult the Googleizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, please don't make me pronounce that. Atriplex.
A
That's
triplex.
the
Atriplex.
scientific name.
A triplex.
No, I was going with the name. I was going with the.
Rhagodia.
No, I was going with that one. But it doesn't pass your earlier stuff.
No, it doesn't. It sounds a bit cold. Old man saltbush.
Old
Yeah,
man saltbush. I've got an old man saltbush in my front yard. They're
La-
really, really good.
Laria. Just, it's not a pretty ending of anything.
I was going to say Kim put in the chat the one he was going with, which looks like it's Julie. But yeah, the problem being that white people trying to get white people to pronounce Indigenous names and I would like to do an Indigenous name, but also I feel like because it's
White
not an
people.
Indigenous led organisation, while we do have
that's where the issue
you
comes
know,
up.
if it was an Indigenous led organisation or Indigenous directed, then I'd be a lot more comfortable using an Indigenous word.
Here we go. Let's go. This. All right. I got something.
Actually, I'm gonna smoke a blunt.
Me too.
Can someone have one for me, please? Because I can't have one.
You just
I
killed
can't
me,
have them
T.
either.
You just went, oh, yeah, I can show you how
Well,
pretty
obviously
it
they'll
is.
have to have two each, Bell, because we
There we
can't have
go.
them, so they have to have two.
You've got to have two.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Oh, she is pretty.
She's so pretty.
So like that's what I'm
Okay.
talking about. This is my addiction. This just finish on everything, anything
Yeah,
better than
yeah.
crack.
The oil
Okay.
slick finish, very pretty.
All right, I'm gonna.
I
turn
know
you
what
down
finish I've got to
to-
do on your vagina blong, then on your vulva blong.
Yes, please. Honestly, in my
Right.
like main house, I want a little pottery studio bit just so that I can make like jewelry with that finish.
Literally. So this is one of the things I said to someone as well, because everyone was like, "Oh, you know, ADHD, you can't just go out and buy a kiln because you want to uptake pottery." I'm like, "See, this is why I need a commune.
I'll get
So
a
I
mic
can
one.
just go
no,
and
we
buy a
actually
kiln."
have one already. There's one in my shed. You can have it.
There you go. This is why we need a commune, so that we already have a kiln.
Oh my god, that's one of my craft videos I watch. I watch pottery.
Yes, me too.
pottery
I've
and
got-
Am I
glass.
the only person here that went to art school and then collected everything?
No, you're
No.
not. But
I
a kiln is
collected
just too
everything without going
expensive.
to art school.
Well, so
I
you.
I've
went to
got a
art school
Dremel
as a
grill.
designer and then a model. It's not doing shit for me.
I've collected stuff for other things. I can do the weaving, and I can do my wood art. I
Yeah.
create little
I was gonna say, Kim,
Um,
I've got 7, 8, 9
you got 9.
sewing machines. So
Samara, is that a child behind you or is that someone else out your window?
Miss Ma'am, 9?
at what window?
Oh no, there's a
Behind you.
reflection in something behind you, next to your bookshelf. What's next to your bookshelf?
Oh, it was a reflection of them walking in front. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Alright,
reflection from the picture, but there's not like you can't see them. There's nothing identifying.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's all good.
good.
Right, I'm gonna chat
Thank you, Arnie on the lookout, Arnie on the prowl.
They're my babies. They're my babies.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know where it's the Loodle phase or it's whether it's like nesting because Belle's coming, but I've been getting so into like cleaning my house and getting things sorted out and like
Is that a
moving
countdown?
stuff around, packing things, getting projects finished. Oh, so excited.
78 days. 78 days.
Yay!
All right, hang on.
Honestly, like my main phone screen on like one side, it is entirely calendar and then countdowns for everything. Because I cannot keep track and I've got no idea. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, 3 weeks away. And then I like look and I'm like, oh, tomorrow?
When's that again?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So no,
Yeah.
I need constantly now and pretty much every day I'll check
It was
all
like
right,
when this
yep.
news article was coming out.
Definitely still 10 days away. Okay.
I was on the lookout for it, and then it kind of popped up, and I was like, "What?" Oh, actually, speaking of, I tagged the Greens in that post too. I didn't even feel bad about it.
Didn't even feel bad.
No, fucking not even a little bit.
I'm in a moment with that.
I need to get my belong though because
I feel so exposed.
Do you?
All right, so I asked ChatGPT. I said, I know this is Tim's favourite thing. We need to name a not-for-profit organisation that is for community support about building houses. Some keywords we've thought of is home, community, land, connection, family, fire, as in warmth, heart, togetherness, welcome. What are your suggestions? Yeah, I don't know if I like any of these. All right, so Hearth and Home Foundation, Welcome Home Collective, Welcome Home I like, Together Land Initiative, Community Hearth Builders, Home Roots Foundation, Land and Hearth Connection, Family Fireside Foundation, Heart of Home Project. Oh, that's not
Heart
too
of the
bad.
Hearth?
Heart of Home Project.
Yeah, but like Heart of the Hearth could be good, or
yeah.
because if that's where we're, you know, gathering, that would then be the
Yeah.
heart of the community.
Yeah, because it's and that's the thing
Together
too.
we
Heart of
build.
the Hearth, together we build. I like, but we could do like Heart of the Hearth, together we build. Like Heart of the Hearth, I like because it isn't just about because building houses is what we're doing, yes, but it's building houses. It's actually building community first. It's building a place for people to go and live because it's not. If you give someone a house, you're not actually giving them a home. We don't just want to give people housing. We want to give people homes. You know what I mean? Like it's like Heart of the Hearth. I like because
it's home. Home is
It's more home than
is
house.
one thing. Yeah.
and it's
yeah.
because you know, because you could provide people aren't necessarily going to want to live on the commune, but they might want to come out and be part of the community and be part of the gardening and be part of the cooking and be part of the and then go home to where they live at their houses, but they're still part of our community. You know what I mean? Like we can give them the support to stay in their home, but come to the community for whatever they need. Which is why I think the Community Resource Centre is obviously, you know, going to be the first thing that I'm going to get stuck into building and getting sorted.
Community Haven Builders, Unity, Hearth and Habitat, Collective Homebound. Be cool if we had something like Sovereign in there as well. like sovereign being, we are determining this. But yeah,
So what if
heart
we
of the
get
heart.
a few together and we put it on Discord as a vote and get everyone to let us know what they gel with? There's a bit of a, like, you know how the rich people do, like, what do you call it? They get feedback from panels. They organize, like, spend $5,000 getting panels together. We'll just put a poll on Discord and see what
I've worked on so many of those things.
$8 grand to do market
It
research.
is actually fun.
It is, but I love when they use
And like mystery shopping and all that. Oh.
Yeah. But
Add
they'll
in
spend 8 grand
30
to-
seconds.
Oh, okay. I'll stop talking then. But they'll do like an ad. They'll do a thing to get like $8 grand to do market research on a word, and then they'll go, "Yep, use the word." And then because they didn't realize that it actually meant "fuck this shit" in Japanese, and they tank the Japanese market because no one wants to buy it. It's like, you spent all that money and couldn't figure that out. What? What the fuck? Anyway, sorry.
Well, that's how Moomba.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
But they didn't have advisory groups and stuff back at the time.
No.
They just asked a man that they fucked over.
Oh yeah, no, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. Sorry, no, that wasn't what I was thinking of. Yeah, he did it on purpose. No, I was thinking about the company that spent all this money and then they released it in the Japanese market and no one bought it because it meant piss in Japan. Like, I was like, who wants to buy piss? Like, what?
I can't go into Discord on my computer for some reason. It's saying change my password, but I don't want to change my password. Oh, where's Discord? All right. So from all of that, the two that we liked was Together We Build, which I like that. That's like a community thing. Together we build a community. Together we build housing. Together we build foundations. Together we build homes. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Hello.
I'm gonna put it under. Where are we? Events.
Cool.
Where's the thing? Oh, events. I'm going to put it in the party planning. Actually, I might make up a new thing. Or should we put it in ideas and feedback? Oh, it's all too much tomorrow. And I've forgotten how to do it as well. How do you create a new text channel?
Oh, done.
How many cats do you have, Lil?
3.
No. I only have 2 for now. I could get 3.
3 is honestly the most magical number, but Zeus the third was very not intended. I found him while I was very actively homeless. It was like 2 weeks before I was able to move the bus to a caravan park and like be safe. But yeah, one night there was just random kittens that I heard meowing and caught him. Had to wait a few days for a cage. Caught the second one with a spine injury and had to put him to sleep, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
And then caught the third that also found another wonderful home. And then, yeah, I honestly fell in love with Zeus from the moment. And he fit into the family so well and is just the perfect buffer between like Atlas and Juno sometimes. Like,
yeah.
It's perfect.
Mm. I like how you've got like a theme with your. Actually, my cats do have a theme. They're named after characters in movies. So Juno from the movie, and Eggsy is Eggsy from The Kingsman. Which is.
Yeah, I just like, you know, I'm pretty honest. They know their gods. I know their gods. Let's just.
Let's all get on board.
Quit beating around the bush and just name them after fucking gods.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got claw hand from editing videos, and so now I'm like, I can't click because it keeps like freezing, and I'm like, oh fuck. Claw hands,
Kim. Kim has.
Sorry, say that again. I always have sore
hands.
hands. They never stop being sore. I wake up and they sore. It's not my back.
Mine's just claw hand from editing. That's all.
Yeah. I was like, it'll
Mine's
be
just
great,
that
get a
I've
job
lost
out of it.
control
Yeah.
of this nerve, so my thumb is just always like this.
And mine was like, get out of industry, and then there's something else that I don't break my hands anymore, and my back isn't so fucked, and then of course my hands are already fucked, so it doesn't make a difference, and I can't do anything. Yep. I have lovely
Yay,
chicken scratchings though.
buddies.
But then
I-
everyone's seen my chatting in chat. It's like flailing my hands at the keyboard, like some kind of like, majestic ballet of digits.
90% of my spelling mistakes are because this thumb is numb, and so I don't realize how far I'm stretching for like the I's and O's and P's. So they're always interchangeable because I just don't
Do you
care.
know?
Oh.
You know how the media do this really awful thing when they're discussing someone who they don't want you to like, and they use a really bad photo of them?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really disappointed when it's someone I don't like, and I feel like they haven't used a bad enough photo of them. Like, for example, in today's news report about Dorinda, the first thing I thought when I saw the photo they used was, that's the worst photo they could find, really?
I'm just
my
going to put that
first
down.
thought.
I'm going to put that down for the autistic need for equality all round. Like, no, that's not fair. Be
No, I'm just a petty bitch. I'm just fucking petty.
I like
as
making
shit.
excuses for shitty behavior. Okay, come on.
No, I'm not gonna be a cult leader. I'm gonna admit when I'm shitty. That's how you avoid becoming a cult leader. I'm just a petty person. I wanted personally to be able to screenshot a shitty photo of her and save it as my wallpaper for a week. That's what I wanted.
To be fair, last week there was a woman in the Amy Shark fan group just shitting on her about the fact that she has a top bun still, and just going on and on like how it's old, how it's all she ever wears. And I'm like, brand recognition's a thing, right? Like, you know that every time you see that top bun, that's Amy Shark. Like it's doing what it's supposed to do. She's like, nah, it's ugly. And then I looked at her profile picture, and there was no hairline. It was so sparse, and I'm like, there it is. You're just jealous.
Yeah.
Like,
you're looking at this beautiful.
and I
woman
pointed that
you're
out, and then she was calling me a big bitch, and I'm like, actually, in this moment, yes, I am.
But
Yes,
I
I
don't
am.
care. It's okay to be a
I'll
bitch
take that.
sometimes.
So
It's
then I
okay to be a
edited a
bitch sometimes.
photo. I edited a photo of her profile picture with a like emoji shit as a top bun, so that she didn't feel left out. And I think
That's
that might
so
have been
good.
the line.
No. Just scoot past that line a little bit. I say I love getting petty because I feel like the only people who are really upset by petty are people who can't handle any
Want to
bump
behave
to their
that
ego.
way.
Yeah, and if you can't handle a bump to your ego, I need to know right now, because we can't be friends. Like, people who can't handle getting taken down a peg, I'm just like, no, we can't hang.
Oh,
We can't
man,
deal. Sorry.
I've even taught my kid that a little bit of pettiness is a good
Yes!
motivator.
Absolutely. And you know what? At the end of the day, you're not petty to people who haven't, like, you can't really be petty to people who haven't directly done something you've viewed as being wrong. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't be petty.
We're not petty just because we can be. We're petty for a reason.
And I never lead with that. I'll
Did someone
give the
say something
benefit of
about
the
pegging?
doubt. I'll, give you a moment to bow out gracefully, and then, all right, here is my opinion now.
Dom, I think Dom wanted to hear pegging.
He
Sound
wanted
off
to
in the
talk about
chat.
pegging. He's disappointed
Hold
we're
on,
not
I'll
talking
go
about
outside and get the
pegging.
pegs off the line.
Yes, get those pegs.
I have clamps and cups.
I have cups too. I use them to drink out of, and all the clamps are in the shed, but they're only used for woodworking. So I don't know, like, what else I would want.
I have woodworking clamps too.
I found a single spoon though, so now I can give a spoon if anyone would like one.
You got a spoon. You earned a spoon.
I earned a spoon. It's dirty.
The
It's dirty. It's got
There
crumbs
is
on
no
it.
spoon. Did you say crumbs?
Yeah, crumbs. You can't have any crumbs.
Okay. Right. Yep.
So I just wanted to, this is completely random and completely change of topic, but I just wanted to let people know as well, another reason to hate TikTok, as if we needed any more reason. Just, sorry, I'm full
Because
of
there's
the
a
hate
block
today.
list of 10,000 and I hate people and want to block more.
Yeah. But just another reason. Oh, good, 5 million people have viewed that video. Fuck that shit. Another reason to hate them is I got an account strike because a video I duetted was taken down for some reason, and it was talking about Palestine. Obviously, it was talking about something that happened, and the video got removed. And because I had duetted the video that got removed, I got a notification saying I got an account strike.
It's almost like TikTok forgot what it is with their whole like,
does
you know,
do that.
demonetization for stitches and things like that. Like, do you know who you are, buddy?
But like none of that ever really
No,
bothered me
it's
because
a
we never
shopping
got
app now.
monetized. Yeah. We never got monetized for stitches and things anyway. So when they changed all that and there was all that outcry, I was like, okay, this is why you guys, especially in the US,
No,
need
but
to
we
learn
still do
solidarity.
notice like the influence of what we see on our feed based on
Oh yeah,
that
yeah,
what
as
is
in-
monetized there. So like it
Yeah.
does still affect us, just not quite.
No. And all the
Right.
encouragement for us to do over 1 minute videos. Like I kept getting notifications in TikTok being like, do over a minute videos, do over a minute videos, do over a minute videos. I'm like, why? And then I noticed, oh, because they've stopped monetizing videos that aren't over a minute. And so like now I see a whole heap of creators who are like, oh, and that's a minute, bye, and like end the video because they don't actually give a shit. They're just doing it to get paid. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, there's so many people with like outros,
Yeah.
and I've blocked and unfollowed a few creators for doing it
It's get-
because
And it's because they're
either
just,
you've got something to say or
yeah,
what are you here for? And if
Yeah.
it's just
to get a payday.
for that money back, like I don't respect anything that you've got to say anymore.
Yeah.
But I
that's
was a part of, I joined the TikTok Creator Collective when they first started it. So they started it as a union to try and get better pay and stuff. So it's like TikTok Creator Solidarity. And they literally put a fucking hammer and sickle, like they turned the TikTok logo into a hammer and sickle for their logo for the group. And I joined the group. They didn't give a shit about anyone outside the US. They didn't give a shit about making it equal for creators in other countries. They didn't give a shit about hearing about the experience from creators from Australia. No. And then when they started complaining about TikTok changing all the monetization, I put on there and I made the point, guys, we've been telling you since the beginning, you've never once argued that we should get monetized. You keep talking about the fact that the creator fund is so small and we need to argue to get the creator fund made bigger first before we start getting other people introduced to it. And we're saying, you need to agree that you're willing to share the pie so that more of us can get in and argue that the pie should be made bigger, but you're all just worried about yourselves, not actually worried about any of the rest of us. This isn't about TikTok Creator Solidarity. This is about you guys trying to get a bigger group of people fighting for you to get more money. It's not actually about...
Let us stuff ourselves full at the like at the can't think of the word. Banquet buffet. Yeah, that'll do. And then the slaves
with the
and that,
Bain Marie.
how you describes it.
They want us to come
My
in
brain
and fight
kept thinking of bouquet.
They want us to come in and fight so that they can get more. They can get their flowers. Yeah.
But that social dilemma thing was very interesting. It's on Netflix. It's very interesting. Talking about how they monetized it and how it's very different. And then Kim sent me a different one, which I thought was fantastic, especially since watching The Social Dilemma. And it's talking about, what was it, monetizing, and it's about art and social media, wasn't it?
Yeah. What I would find very interesting is if TikTok, because a lot of the TikTok creators try not to put paid or partnership or whatever on a lot of their posts they do. If TikTok brought in an option for people to pay in order to not see paid promotional material. So you pay TikTok $20 a month to not see any paid promotional material. If they would come down heavier on creators who weren't being open and honest about what was paid advertising material, because now they've got paid subscribers who are paying to avoid seeing that material, who are being shown it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think if they, like, you literally, it's almost like you can see the only way we can get them to get rid of problems that we have on the app is if they are losing out on money somehow. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's capitalism, so of course they're not going to. Sorry, Belle, you're muted.
Just 100% on that one. It's capital, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The different. I think the thing comes down to you can never make. There's no ethical consumption under capital. You can't make a capitalist organisation ever behave in a manner behooving to its user base, like ethically at all, because its only adherence is to make money for the fucking shareholders.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
or in this case, I don't know. They don't have shareholders yet because they're not a publicly listed company. But you know what I mean. It's only just a matter of raising money to make more dominant eyeballs come along, type thing. So you can't do anything with it. And this is there were movements when they looked like it was going to be banned for the Fedisphere, the Feder universe, recreating the system and making it work. And it's weird because if you watch that, I'm going to go back a step. If you watch the thing that happened when Musk took over Twitter, and then the break that happened in people moving off Twitter, going towards other things, whether that be some people went to Instagram, some people went to like Facebook, back to Facebook. Some people, like a lot of people moved over to TikTok type thing. Bits and pieces happened. But massive amount of thing happened towards people moving on to Mastodon.
Off Twitter, going towards other.
Are you watching on your phone too, Lil?
Yeah, I have to mute Lil's mic. We're getting feedback through your mic, Lil. Sorry.
I'm back, I think. No, I'm not.
Sounds
You're
like
back.
Lil's.
I'm still here, but I'm just waiting for my feedback to go away. It's okay. I think it's back. Yeah, so
Oh.
there was this massive
Oh no,
movement
yeah,
towards.
Lily's phone's disconnected and are having a tantrum. That's
That's not fun.
Are you back now,
Yeah,
Lil?
you can't win it. It's all I was going to say. You can't win. We can't fundamentally shift what's happening within TikTok because you can't make it you can't make it behave. You can't, even as users, even as a massive populace. Look at the likes of Twitch streaming and like the complete subjugation of what is essentially a unpaid workforce.
Yeah.
Or marginally paid workforce. Look at the same thing with YouTube, where we have like this massive movement towards people not being paid what they should be paid because of because of what's going on. It's fucked. We can't. It doesn't work.
The creators on YouTube.
It all comes back to capitalism.
Yeah.
Is the end. That's the whole of my point in one line.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
it didn't need to be.
No, it's good worth discussing though.
Because of what's going on. It's fucked.
We can hear you. We can still hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, I've just muted it again, Lil. Sorry. We can still hear the feedback. Sorry.
Give us a thumbs up when you're ready.
Maybe. I mute it now. All right. There we go. Yeah. Now I can't hear me. I can hear you though, Lily.
I still can't.
Oh, you can't hear us. Oh. Lily can't hear us. That's the problem. Two Kims. No one wants two Kims. In fact, we won't want one. Yes,
Did you see what Kim wrote, Lil?
Yes.
Oh, you can't hear us. Kim, Lily. Oh, too many people.
Yes. Oh, you can't hear us.
Fuck knows what's going on. Is there any voice anywhere?
We can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Lil.
Fuck knows
I
what's
just have
going
to
on.
keep muting you because I can also hear me.
It's okay. Take a breath, Lil.
Yeah. I was going to say though, when you were talking about no ethical conception under capitalism, I was watching a really interesting video the other day that was talking about this, so I just got off on this whole other tangent about that. But
You said the headphones twice. They just, I don't know.
They're not connecting.
Do your headphones need charge, bub?
I was going to say the problem is every time I unmute you, Lil, it's just I can hear all of our voices coming back through.
And there's a delay.
You've given up on their headphones.
Oh shit! Hey, I've got to go to the supermarket because I've run out of cat food.
Hey,
and
is
my
that worked?
I've run out of cat food.
Good luck in capitalism land.
Mm.
Don't forget to be
Alright,
nice to the person at
I
the
will be
I
checkout.
back.
don't know what to do.
No, I think that's better, Lou. Bye, Belle.
So I saw this video anyway that was talking about the fact that there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, and well, it was basically just talking about the fact that people have taken that and look, I this is the comment that I made on the video. People took no ethical consumption under capitalism to mean I don't need to examine my behavior under capitalism anymore because nothing I do is good anyway, so nothing is bad either. And that's just not the case. Like there is still. Oh, are you okay, Lil?
Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah,
can't hear
I
my
hear you fine.
phone. It's too
I
Oh.
quiet.
hear you fine.
Oh, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you just fine. Can you hear us?
Barely, because my phone speaker is like,
Oh.
yeah.
We're going to have to send you some old school wired in headphones.
That's what I was just thinking, like where I would have some, but
I think I've got an old
Hold
pair
on.
from like the plane. Can't stand it. And I know what I know, it just doesn't feel like a night out with no stars in the world. I've never been so surreptitious, so of course you'll be distracted when I spike the punch. Sorry, I've been listening to a lot of Panic at the Disco the last few days. I don't know if you can tell.
I like the fact that you think I know what that is. Like, I love the fact that you think I'm so cool that you think I know what this is.
Panic at the Disco? Oh. Does anyone know Panic at the Disco?
Well, probably I don't. It doesn't connect in my head.
Brendan
Okay, I'm
Urie's
gonna
an
say-
asshole. They've gone. They're
That's-
done
yep.
now. They're gone
Oh.
and done and dusted. They're not around anymore.
Yes, 1-1. 1-1.
I really like Heart Hearth or Home Hearth or Home Hearth? Heart Hearth?
Start talking about music and Belle's not here. Like you're not.
I
Gonna get
know. What a terrible
get like
timing.
what do you expect?
What a terrible.
do you
I need to go
expect?
back to talking about books. I need to pick my audience more. I need to be more selective with my audience with the things I bring into the discussion. I'm really Heart Hearth is really. I'm really enjoying that one. I think we need a few different varieties though to take to the poll. But I'm liking that one. I'm kind of stuck on that one.
I might have to run away because I
you.
can't hear.
Oh no. Okay.
That's no
And
good.
I don't know what, like,
Yeah,
I tried to close everything down on my phone. I might be able to try to reconnect, but
Yeah. Well,
Give it a
the
go.
link
Try
is
that
still there in
first.
the Discord. Yeah, give it a go. There's no stress. You can give it a go. You can try.
do you like that view? Because
That was such a good close up of the ear there. Really. I was going to put you.
That side's got the tattoo. That one's prettier.
Oh! I was going to put you in a lovely solo layout to that, but I won't. I won't do that to you.
I'm not confident enough to do an up the nose view.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'm gonna run away and then try again.
Yeah. Okay. No worries.
Fine.
And like I'm gonna jump on again tomorrow. Just go. They're gone. I'm gonna jump on again tomorrow as well, so we can always I'm gonna jump off soon. Like I gotta go start getting the kids dinner ready soon. But I am gonna jump on again tomorrow.
I've uploaded you a file in media. Go and have a look at that. I think that's halfway to the solution that you were talking about. The idea that people are measured in their response to the statement of no ethical consumption.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's yeah.
Yeah. Animal ethics.
It's that thing of you can't see, you like read it, but it's that thing of you can't see it because you're so ingrained within the system of what the fuck is going on. And even if you want to be oppositional, you need to have that other form of thinking to go with it type thing. There has to be something. There has to be that kind of split, that kind of break to occur where you're disenfranchised. You know, something else going wrong to break the system down type thing.
Yeah.
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 I
How's
can
that?
hear.
Yay!
I can hear again.
Oh, thank goodness.
Amazing!
Who knows what the fuck they did, but
Oh,
I don't know.
it's
The
just a matter of turning it
headphones
on
like
and off again.
disconnected and then like or like connected somewhere else in my. I don't fucking know what they
They
did.
I was so sad for us. I was so sad for a moment. I thought we were going to lose you, and I've never been more sad.
You'll
been
never
more sad in
lose
my
me,
whole life.
baby.
No, better. I would be distraught. I would be devastated.
I
but
mean,
no, that
you
is.
could cry and heave a little.
I am definitely going to be reading that article, Kim. What I love, Kim, is that you are able to just like find the article that you're talking about immediately. I have to search for days and days and days, and then still can't fucking find it.
I can't always do it, but the weird thing is I had to do a thing for uni for one of like we had 4 subjects. 2 one was like class, and the other one was like a class called Transgressive Acts in the Arts. And for my last paper, I actually wrote. I should pull it up. You'd probably find it funny what I wrote, but I pulled up a bunch of stuff out of one of the last year units for religious studies. Spends about 3 weeks talking about animal husbandry practices and then religion and the connection there is to religiosity.
Yeah.
So it's a real defense. It's a defense of veganism at the same time as being a takedown of religion. So I actually used that article was one of the like major bits of me going and saying I'm going to go and make this bit of art. I will probably never make because no one would ever give me permission to go on their land to go and do it once they found out what I was doing. But I had the idea, like trigger warning for everyone in the audience. Okay, like animal husbandry
Don't
is not
ask
in
permission,
Australia.
ask forgiveness.
Yeah. But I basically went along and was like, what happens if we photographically like follow from the inception point of a cow all the way through until the final moment of like the eating of the cow as a thing through photography. And then what happens when we compare that to say meat and livestock advertising boards like responses? What happens when we compare that to like the nutrition board's advice on like what do we eat, how do we eat from like the 1970s through now type thing, and then like how that's changed? What happens when we then take a cow and we like hang it up and we like then cut up get a butcher to stand there cutting up the meat, or get me to stand there cutting up the meat, and then handing it out to the people as they come along and saying like, here, have the cow, you want to eat the meat type thing. Like, what
Well, I can't eat red meat, so I don't plan on farming those. But you can do it with my chickens.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing.
You can do it with my chickens. And ducks.
But that's the thing is like, you know, you could never get away with making it as a piece of art because as soon as anyone cottoned on to what you were doing, like
I don't know. I reckon.
never let you back on property.
I think I was going to say you wouldn't want to do it at a small scale producer because they probably have a lot more ethical ways of producing. You want to do it at like a mass.
No, yeah. You would go onto a mass farm and be able to do it, but the problem even then becomes like getting access to like slaughter yards. You can't access them. Getting access to abattoirs, getting access to butcher spaces, etc., etc., etc. Like it's basically an impossibility to be able to do it that way.
Even knowing locally the abattoir,
you need somebody like on the inside at every step.
And the people who work in the abattoir are assholes. Like it attracts a certain kind of people who work there.
Well, my mother worked in
it attracts a certain level of brokenness, let's say, and then it makes these people way more broken as they go along. Like to stick out that job for like any moment, you have to be fundamentally broken. You can't keep doing it day to day and not basically internally kill yourself with. You know,
I was going to say,
CPTSD.
I'm not necessarily talking about the people on the floor, but the people who are working in management who've been there for a long time, who are. Like, because I know where I live, unfortunately, it's where a lot of the kids, when they get put on job seeker and they have to go and get a job or they have to apply for a job in town, there's only one place in town that is always reliably hiring because they've got such high turnover, and it's the abattoir. So most of the young kids in town have to go and do a stint at the abattoir just because of job seeker and all the bullshit that they... And there's like, this is one of the reasons why I'm just fundamentally against the idea of making anyone do any labor and like at all, like forcing people to go and get a job. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's just We're
I
taking young
refused
kids.
to take on work for the dole people when I was managing the op shop.
Yeah.
I refused. Like, the only thing I would do was like work release from the prisons
Yeah.
sometimes, or community service in exchange for fines and things like that. We had people volunteer.
We do it.
But I was
used to
so
do a lot
picky
of
where
that.
I'd let my volunteers come from because it's exploitative at the end. Like, there's
I
no
did a
way
lot of the
around
work
it.
for
It's
fines
exploitation.
programs. Because the work for fines programs, they can pay off a lot of their fines with a little bit of
Yeah,
work.
it is
The
actually a
work
really
for
good
fines,
program, honestly.
Yeah. What pisses me off is that they're allowed to fine them in the first place.
Yeah.
Because some of it are for things like, you get fined for not showing up to court, and then that becomes a criminal prosecution against you
And
when you don't pay that fine.
I quite literally had the power in my hands as a nobody managing a fucking op shop to put people in prison.
Yeah.
My
It's fucking
word
bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah.
was so heavy that I was like, I could take somebody's freedom away. And that's
one of the programs that we have
disgusting
is
to think
based.
about.
One of the programs that we have, one of the really difficult things with it is that you work with these people before they're going to be released, and one of the questions that they ask is like they have to, like, you're constantly talking to people and you're saying to them, I know that this sucks, I know you don't want to have to engage with this program, but if you don't engage with this program so that I can tick this box, you are not going to get your parole, you are not going to be allowed out, you're not going to get early release. I know it sucks, but if you don't subscribe to this stupid formulaic sitting down with me and discussing your hopes and dreams for the future so that I can tick a box and say you've discussed your hopes and dreams with me for the future, this random bitch you just
At least meet me halfway. Like,
well,
you
no,
can tell me how bullshit you think this system is.
I tell them it's
while
bullshit.
Doing it
I
with
tell
me.
them,
Like,
yeah.
we can do that. Like, but we've
I
got to
tell
do
them
it.
it's completely bullshit, but I need to tell them that they've got some plans for the future so that I can go to these guys and say they've got some plans for the future. If you tell me your plan is to go and work for your cousin Terry on his boat and it's cash in hand and you don't want them knowing that because you're not going to be paying any taxes, and I say he's planning on looking for an unpaid internship doing fishing somewhere so he can build up his skills, like...
It ticks all the boxes.
Exactly. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day. I just need to know you've got a plan for the future so that I can tell them you've got a plan for the future. I don't give a shit what your plan is. I just need to be able to tick a box to say that you've thought about the future.
My part of this deal is that I fandangle your words to make them tick this box.
Exactly.
And so many people that are in charge of filling in the boxes are so rigid and...
Because you're working for the Department of Justice, you're working for the Department of Communities, you're working for the department. You're not working for the person, you're working for the department. And so it's not actually about ticking the box so the person can get what they need. It's about making sure that you're only giving the stuff that you're giving to the people who really deserve it. And this is the problem with these structures. I keep saying to people, a lot of the time with these structures like policing, when they say, yeah, that might be where it came from, but that's what it's about now. It's like you need to actually look, because with the White Australia policy, people could sit there and say this policy, okay, our immigration it's never been about keeping our black people and about only keeping white people in. That is the only reason we ever had a national immigration policy, was because they wanted to formally keep blacks out, keep people of color out of the country, keep the Chinese people out, keep the Greeks out. Like, it was very much about keeping Australia white. And that is the basis of our immigration. And so everything that we've built up on top of that still has that foundation. And it is still, when you're looking at the purpose, because the purposive approach to legislative interpretation means if you are trying to interpret any piece of law, you have to look at what purpose is it trying to fill, which means the bureaucrats who are sitting in their offices trying to fulfill their jobs as bureaucrats are looking at the job description that's given to them and what the purpose of that is. And when the purpose is to ensure services are withheld from people who are deemed undeserving and only given to those who are deemed deserving, that means you have a whole heap of bureaucrats working in there who are judging people and deciding whether they are deserving or not on an individual level, based on their own individual issues, based on their own individual biases, based on their own fucking bullshit perspectives. When what you need to be doing is looking at this person and going, we need to make sure you have everything you need to excel out there in the community. And that is not how any of our community services are set up. They are all about resource management. They are not about holding people up, and resource management in terms of withholding resources. This is why I'm an anarcho-communist, because anytime anyone says, yeah, you want the government to do more, no, the government isn't about doing more. The government is about doing as little as fucking possible and about withholding as much as possible.
And under a constant threat of violence.
Under a constant threat of violence. We constantly have state violence being imposed upon us, and we don't even.
And it's not even that it's the, you know, people up here that are imposing the violence anymore.
Yeah.
It is society as a whole imposing violence. It's the people going on, you know, the chat rooms going, well, they should just get a job. You are reinforcing the violence that the system put in place. You are
every fucking Karen who pulls out their phone to call the cops over a mild inconvenience is making this problem worse. So much fucking worse. We do not need the cops in our communities. We need them to stay the fuck out of our communities. And everyone sort of turns around and says, oh, okay, you're all anti-cops, but there are examples of communist systems that have been set up that do not have policing in them. There have been plenty of systems set up that show where, like, community watch programs. And literally, most of the time, what it is, it's community watch, keeping an eye on other people's houses and stuff and being like, hey, this is a person that we don't know. What are you doing around here? Oi, Sharon, do you know this person? He's poking around in your yard. Oh, he took off running. He obviously doesn't know Sharon. No worries. He's gone. Bye. Like,
but when you're thinking about policing on a small scale like that, it's what are we policing?
Yeah.
Because when you think about community, things like that, it's, you know, protecting resources for the greater good. So if that person coming in is, oh, I'm stealing because I'm hungry, it's not, well, now we're going to lock you up. It's all right. Well, now we're pulling up a seat.
Even if people are stealing, I've got to be honest with you, like, I've caught people stealing before and I've just been like, you're right. Like, I can go to call my phone.
Honestly, when I was in Alice, I had an outdoor fridge and freezer, and the number of times, and the only time I was ever annoyed is when the door just wasn't shut properly, which meant everything went.
No.
And I'm like, just
shut the fucking door. Just shut the fucking door. The mold that gets along the top when it's not shut properly. It's like, just shut the door. Just shut the door so that you don't make all of the food smell like fucking ozone and mold. Like, just shut the fucking door.
I can still smell
the alcohol cabinet
in the fridge sometimes.
Yeah, me too. I can still smell it in my freezer. It doesn't matter how much you clean it, you can still smell it.
Yeah.
I had an alcohol cabinet on my back veranda, and yeah, that used to, because it was a closed door veranda, but the door didn't lock, and it was quite well known. This is in my old place, like many years back, many years back. But half the time, all you've got to say is, "Hey, you're right there," and they will take off bolting. Take off fucking bolting, and it's you don't need to do any more than that. You do not need to do any more than that to protect yourself most of the time. The only time when I ever feel like it's, and again, I've been in my kitchen washing my dishes, seeing someone, you know, at my old house where I lived. My house was up on stilts. It was an older house, and the new developments were all down lower because, of course, they were. And I was washing my dishes, overlooking, and I saw these two guys skulking down the side of the house. And I said, oi, and they both stopped and looked around, and they were like, you know, and then they kept going. And I said, oi, guys, there's cameras pointed right at you. And they both looked up and looked around and looked at me. And I nodded at them, and I'm pointing at the cameras, and they looked up and they went, oh, and I bolted down the street. And I'm like, this is why your camera should say, you're currently being recorded. Because that would stop most of the people. Like,
yeah.
If you're actually worried about people coming into, because this is the thing people say all the time, yeah, but I don't want people coming into my space. I don't want people invading my home. I want to protect my. Okay, then don't be so worried about catching these people and getting the cops on them and tracking them down, and just make it very clear that there's someone in the house, or that they're being recorded, or that, you know, and again, don't have cameras pointed.
Sensor lights.
Don't have sensor lights. Like, don't have cameras pointed at your fucking street.
Cover the house in sensor lights. Yeah. I'm the type of person where, like, honestly, somebody knocking at my door most of the time sends me into a panic attack.
Yeah.
People have not known where I've lived for 15 years.
And I understand that as well.
Two people at a time know where I live.
Yeah.
But and I've had, like, when I lived in Alice in the apartment, I was on the second story. The sliding door was open because it was fucking hot, and they climbed the balcony. And I woke up in the morning freezing cold and realized that my front door was open and went, oh no. Do you know the kitten was still sitting at the door just looking at it going, what the fuck's going on? And my keys were gone, my wallet was gone, but they were both downstairs because I rode a scooter and that wasn't fun. So they took the money and left it. And I went, all right, okay.
I've had kids break into my yard and I found my purse on my front lawn with all the stuff spilled out everywhere because they were just.
It was literally on a table, like at the front thing that the gardener uses sometimes, like to sit at.
I've now sold it.
It couldn't have been more polite.
No, I've now sold it because I hated this fucking bracelet so much. But I had this gold bracelet that was worth $3,000 in my purse because my grandmother had given it to me because she used to try and buy my love. And she'd sent me this gold fucking bracelet with these like pink diamonds in it. It was honestly the most bizarre thing you've ever seen. It's like, you know those Cartier bracelets that everybody's wearing?
Yeah.
It was
not a fan.
No, it was like one of them and it was gold and it had these pink gems all across the top. And I was just like, I don't even wear gold jewelry for a start. All my jewelry is silver. Like that's for a start. And second of all, I don't even fucking wear jewelry. What are you talking about buying me an expensive piece of fucking jewelry? What the fuck is you don't know me. This woman doesn't know me at all. But yeah, it was sitting in my purse, literally sitting in my purse in the box still because I was going to take it to go have it at appraised and sell it because I just didn't want it. And I just found out I was pregnant at the time as well. So I was like, could you really use the extra money to go and buy some baby stuff? And yeah, that was still sitting in its box on the front lawn with my purse. Like, you know what I mean? They're kids looking for food, they stole the milk out of the fridge. It's kids looking for food and money to go and buy food with most of the time.
And it irks me, especially like hearing a lot of the rhetoric from citizens in Alice was quite damaging because I know what, like, not exactly, quite obviously, but I know what those kids are going through. I was a similar kid running from home. Home wasn't safe.
Yeah.
Like, I was bored, I was angry, I was listless, and I was just trying to survive. And I genuinely didn't think that my life was going to amount to anything, that anything I did right now mattered in the long run. It is all about the short-term survival.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when they will threaten these kids with jail and things like that, because that'll sort them out, no, it won't.
No, it makes it so much worse.
That doesn't address the motivations.
And well, it also
only cements their position in society now. And
it also, they go into these awful situations where they're treated abhorrently, they're taken out of school, their entire lives are disrupted at a very like fundamental. Like these kids are 10 years old, they're not even in high school yet, and we're pulling them out of school for like 3, 4, 5 months at a time. And people go, oh, they get all of that stuff in there. No, they don't.
No,
they don't. They absolutely do not. There is no duty. We've had 2 children die in police custody in the last year in this state, and the police prison is still, like the child prison is still operating. These are children in state care who are dying, and everyone's just
cool and
fine and dandy with that. Children dying in state care. We're talking about kids dying in state care. And everyone's like, oh,
and no one cares.
And
the thing is, like, even when people do talk about them, even when there's rallies, even when people are, you know, fighting for their rights, there's so many citizens going, oh, they don't matter. We don't.
No.
Excuse me?
No, absolutely.
You are one number away and a postcode away from being in that exact situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm reminded of. Sorry, I'm wandering around closing windows and things. I'm reminded of the fact.
I'm just going to get up and check the fire.
About the current floods and whatnot that are happening because of the hoo-ha in America, and the disbelief that Americans have. I mean, we all have it, I suppose. Not us personally, but I mean society. The disbelief that we have that this will not happen to us, that this will not occur. And we're probably much better in Australia about it because we see it fucking every year with bushfires and whatnot. You know, we've all got it.
I was going to say we won't get flooded out. We'll get burnt down.
We'll get burnt down, but the same deal, right?
Yeah.
But the weird thing is that I've seen a couple of American people who I thoroughly respect turning around saying, just shut the fuck up because you don't realize how connected you are actually to this problem. You're completely unaware of what's actually occurring. And, you know, exactly the same, like Americans after Hurricane Katrina, they were talking about the fact, I can't remember who it was that did it, but they were talking about the fact that this was the process of, what's the word, like destroying that connection between a group and like this group of people who have been, something's happened to them, disenfranchised in this case, and then the wider society. And Americans are really, really amazingly good at like like separating themselves. So it's like those people over there from Appalachia or those
Yeah.
people over there from Florida or whatever, and they deserve it because
The lines.
because because such and such has happened, and this is
Yeah.
all about like them being bad. Like somehow it's like that very Calvinistic, like it happened to them because they're undeserving of like God's like positive will. Yeah, just that thing of like we can't have and that's a very colonial response to say like, well, I'd never be homeless, or I'd never be this, or I'd never be that, or I'd never be sick, or I'd never be disabled, or my children will never be gay, or I'm not gay and therefore it can't happen to me. Completely ignoring the fact that like someone in their family is, something in their family has happened. They are only like 1 meal away from starving hungry, and not having any food type thing. They are only like
People
1 week away from a bushfire that destroys their
people
house.
always
And they
have
have nothing
opinions
left.
though, where they're like, I would have behaved this way, I would have reacted like this,
Yeah.
I would have survived because I would have done
Yeah.
this. When you're not even looking at
They
the
would've.
entire situation, when you're like, I'll survive. Like,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
going to be the first to die because you've got that attitude power.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I think the only thing that's going to save us is community. The only thing that's going to save us is
Yeah.
working together. And these people have just got such an individualistic view that they really think that. And again, this is why I'm doing a video at the moment, and I'm a bit obsessed with this whole topic at the moment with the idea of democracy and the reason that democracy really became as widespread as it did. And the reason was really because of the enclosure of the commons. Sounds like you're peeing, Kim.
I'm not. It's not me.
I'm
You
pouring a
can't.
drink.
It's Lil pouring a drink.
I'm pouring a drink.
Fucker.
I'm sorry.
I pissed quietly anyway. Thank you very much.
I was like, that's real
Jake, why did I
suspicious,
get blamed?
Kim. You've just sat down.
I didn't even think about that.
You just sat down this noise. I was like,
There is not a urinal there.
I was on the screen
I
and you
know.
still went for him first. I'm MIA and you're like, couldn't possibly be Lily.
It's definitely Kim. It's definitely Kim.
I'm going to break
Kim
in
sat
now.
down
I'm
and
going to say,
the
and I'm going to say,
noise
everyone.
thank you, baby
I put the links in the. I put the names in the thingo. But Frantz Fanon's Dying Colonialism and The Wretched of the Earth. You reminded me of both those. The Wretched of the Earth is very good. Dying Colonialism is just as good, but it's probably a harder read.
Yes.
They're old. They're getting old now, but it's very interesting because he's a black French person talking about what's happening in Algeria during the time of like the Algerian like independence movement, when France finally gave up the fucking what the fuck was going on in Algiers. If people haven't seen it, the Battle of Algiers is an amazing film. It's up there with Soy Cuba or Soy Cuba, as regards bits of things that need watching as well. Yeah. Right, I've added all those. I got someone to read my thing. I want to added all of their suggestions in.
Fabulous.
Can I stop having to write this stupid exegesis now? I'm fucking bored of it. I want to go on holiday to the seaside.
I'm
I want to go on
excited.
holiday to the seaside.
Come on holiday to the seaside. We've got the seaside.
I have to go to Geelong next week. You're way too far away.
I know.
You're way too far away. I have to fly a plane over there. I can't even fucking drive. Although I did work out that if I drove to Whyalla to look at the steel plant there and took some pictures of it, I'd be like halfway there.
If you're doing that, pick me up. I'm just around the corner.
Yep. No, it's like because they've turned around like last week and said they're shutting it down. They're shutting down the steelworks because of like bullshit capitalist reason.
I did see that. Yeah, they were talking about it was because
and I
was turned to green steel, and it's like fuck off. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck off. Whatever.
Fuck
so the rents there are about to get cheap enough for me to afford on JobSeeker.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing? I might be able to rent somewhere.
Well, I have this connection. I have this connection to Whyalla that like I refuse to talk to on live stream because it's personal. But I've got this connection to Whyalla and the steelworks there. And we're just like, oh yeah, it's been like, it's been a fair old time. I could go back to Whyalla and do it, and then do that. That's all right. You do that. But yeah, I was like, yeah, typology of the steelworks. That'd be nice. I could just do that for a little bit of a break over summer. But it's gonna be flipping hot. But yeah. But no, that's halfway to tease. Halfway. Maybe if I picked up Belinda on the way, she'd drive halfway.
Oh my god, mega road trip.
Exactly. You know,
Sorry.
I've got a Land Cruiser. It's not like we don't all fit with all of the gear and all the camping equipment to like camp the whole way there.
The biggest thing about me is my wheelchair.
It's all right. We can strap it to the top, or strap it in the back, or strap it. In the,
Oh my
on the
god, if we're
runway.
strapping it to the top, we're strapping me to the top too. On it.
some kind of like
You villain.
some kind of like what's the name of that film from Erskineville? Fuck, about the bus, the drag queen going on the bus. Yeah,
Priscilla,
some kind
Queen of the
Priscilla-esque,
Desert.
like flying, you know.
I own the bus. I'm so close. I'm so close.
Yeah, that the pub in the start of that film was actually one of my locals when I was like growing up, because I lived,
Nice.
I grew up like up the street and around the corner from it type thing. So weirdly, like that pub I've been to many times, and I've actually seen the drag shows in there many times when I shouldn't have been. When I was not old enough to be in a pub,
Yeah.
I was in that pub watching drag shows, going,
I
"This
was
is
there.
an
I
interesting
shouldn't
pub,
have been.
isn't it?" Yeah. Well, like drag queens didn't try and kick you out of the pub, and they weren't offensive, and they'd try and like fucking hurt you. It was wonderful. You know, gay men don't generally go around like abusing young men as a rule. They sort of like quite welcoming, and like they don't care if you're there as long as you don't start a fight. You know, no matter what you
Pretty
look like
much.
or who you are. It's quite, it's quite different, really. Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be anywhere near as adjusted as I am if not for the queer clubs that I grew up in as a kid. Well,
Yeah.
a teenager,
Yeah.
20-year-old,
Those
child when you're in your 30s now, but not when you were then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was weird. I was talking to a mate about this. She's got a couple, like she's like at my age, 40s type thing, or just she turned 41, and she was talking about the disconnect that she feels between like her. I want to do it, but her dad's got in retirement. Like she's now like grown up, whatever fucking grown up means. But like her kids are like like teenagers, and so like my oldest who were like 21, my youngest is 12, and it's like this weird disconnect of like I've never felt like a fucking adult my whole fucking life, and like where does that feeling come from? Like where does that internal machination?
I keep waiting for it to
I'm
kick
not a grown
in.
up. I was like, I'm not a grown up, and yet like I own a house and I have fish and a cat and a child that like lives in my house, and I have to like care for it. And it's like, I mean, the two grown-up ones have like grown up and fucked off now, so it's like that's fine. But it's like, no, you're actually a grown-up. But then, like, what did my parents think when they had like me at nearly exactly the same age that I had my daughter? Like, what the fuck is going on? That like then, like, what did they feel like when they were my age, and what the fuck was going on at the same time? And
I even look at most of my peers.
Well, they were both silent generation. I think to myself, no, they would like. I look back at what happened throughout the course of my adolescence and go, like, no, hang on a second. They just had no fucking clue either. Like, there was no fucking clue. The silent generation had no fucking clue because they've been raised like out of a fucking out of a conflict or out of depression type thing. The boomers had no fucking idea because they were the fucking boomers, and like this, it's so dependent on where you are in the fucking world, whether you were like, and the lead didn't fucking help, right? Like nothing fucking helped. And asbestos fucking killed everyone type thing. And then like Gen X, like millennials, like we've got no fucking idea wherever you fucking sit in that scale of this type thing. But it's like we've got no fucking idea because we were raised by two generations of people who'd never like had a grown up in their life. Like no one had ever been a grown up after the conflict. The conflict like fucked everything up along the way, and then like there was that disconnect between what was happening. And you look at like I can't think of the guy's name, Adam Curtis documenting the boomers and what's going on. Can't think which one is.
And not only like was it not that it was adults raising, it was that they were traumatized children essentially.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all these
and
like,
it's traumatized. It's
like,
traumatized on top of
traumatized children trying to be adults doing this, and then going, why isn't things working? It's like because I don't know, maybe because you've got no fucking internal skills.
Because you got no fucking clue, and no one's got any fucking clue because we literally like bombed the whole of like half the fucking world, got bombed back to fucking nothing, and everyone was living in fucking rubble for a good like decade on rationing cards at best, if not having to do some really fucking horrible shit to themselves to like survive under what the fuck was going on. And even if you survived that and you were well off in like America was still fucked. You've only got to go read like S.E. I was watching S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders with my daughter. She's now like 12, so like go read. You got to read the book, but like, we'll go watch the film because we watched Grease and then we watched The Outsiders and then we watched Crybaby because it was a real good combination of like things going on within the film.
Crybaby.
Yeah, it's good, but I hate Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
but it's weird because you look at all those things in all of them, right? There's the creation in the 1940s, 1950s of teenagers, right? There's that creation of like teenagers, and it didn't happen before then. And all of a sudden,
as a concept,
it's-
teenagers weren't really a
but
thing.
but it makes infants of everyone past that. You never grow out of it. You might grow up and you might be a teenager and get your car license, then date, and then get married, or whatever. But actually, no one ever fucking grew up. Like nothing ever happened to allow anyone to grow up from those systems. So as soon as that thing's invented in America and then it becomes a thing, nothing ever happens. Like it's just churn. And I reckon it's that tie together of like the
Mental,
creation
emotional
of
development just stagnated.
yeah, like it stagnates, but I think it stagnates because we create like America creates this idea of like you're a forever child, and then at the same time we have this. You're right, saying the trauma of like coming out of like 2 world wars and the depression in between time that fucked everything. Like it just fucked everything. Like it led to this infantilizing of the whole of society, and we just never fucking like got out of it type thing. And then you look at, and then, like I look at my 12-year-old and I go,
Well,
like, you're a
yeah,
fucking adult.
absolutely.
Like I look at my
Because
12-year-old.
when you look at the whole like, no, you hurt my feelings.
Than anyone, you know.
Honestly, I look at most toddlers and
Yeah.
the way that they
That's what-
work through their emotions sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, you've hurt yourself. Okay, how do you feel? And they've got better introspection
they've
than
got-
most
yeah.
adults I've ever seen. Like,
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And then when we teach,
but we belittle
neuro-
them
and
because
then we
they don't
teach
know as much as
neurotypicalness,
us.
but then we teach neurotypicalness and we enforce it upon people, and then all of a sudden they never fucking do it, you know, and they never fucking grow out of it type thing. They can never like,
He's
you
gonna
know, they
need a
never
lung
assess anything.
transplant.
They never fucking do anything. You know, nothing ever churns in their little brains. Nothing ever happens. I'm sick of. I refuse to talk to normal people anymore.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I was having a conversation with my bestie / housemate yesterday, and we were talking about like how traumatized people develop relationships versus people who grow up relatively, you know, their emotions were taken care of and considered in when they were raised. And she was like, you know, putting the whole point across that you can't receive what you're unaware of. So if you weren't raised with that type of all-encompassing love, when you do receive it, you might not necessarily be aware of it. And I'm like, I don't like, I mean, there is an element of that, absolutely, but it's just, again, like the pattern recognition, it's the awareness, it's knowing and having to know from a very young age what type of things you can tolerate. And then when certain people will show certain things, you're just like, I can't tolerate that.
Yeah, but there's also got to be
And
that disconnect.
and when you
because
haven't had that, you know,
Yeah.
system in place forever, not getting that system, you know, however far down the road into your adulthood doesn't feel as jarring as maybe losing the system because you never had it. You don't miss what you didn't have. Like I don't, you know, I look at other family systems and people interactions with very green glasses, but I would never be able to be like, oh yep, I missed that, because so I don't feel like I need to settle for less in order to accept having that.
Yeah. No, it's that weird thing of like you can't be at the space of even. It's that weird thing of like, you know, I understand.
But you need to be aware of your lackings before you can accept lacking as well.
Before you can go any further. Yeah. Like, you know, and there's that weird thing of like, you know, you're outed as being neurodivergent. You go, oh, this is a learning experience, isn't it? Type thing. And then everyone just still treats you exactly the fucking same. And then you start recognizing, hang on a second, the problem isn't me. The problem is the communication, the relationships that are going on here. And that's not on from my side type thing. You know, sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't type thing. Yeah, it's fun.
How are we going?
We didn't say anything. Nothing exciting happened.
How are you doing?
Sat here in silence.
Have you
We
still
sat
got
here in
lungs?
silence for the whole like 10 minutes while you coughed your lungs up, mate.
You heard me coughing my lungs up.
Yes, and now you've got a banana.
I got potatoes. I muted it. I didn't think you could hear
Oh,
me.
it's a banana.
If I mute this, can you still hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can still hear you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So if I mute my microphone, you guys can still. Oh my goodness. I thought I was muting myself so you couldn't hear me coughing.
It's okay. We're used to it. It gave us something. It gave us something to
We
acknowledge in
felt
the
at
background
home.
while we weren't talking about anything. We didn't say anything. We haven't spoken the whole time you've been gone.
Sure.
Literally all we said was about how much we miss you, and I just kept being like, but I can't cry right now because I'm running really low on tissues. So we've got to be strong. We've got to be strong. Please help me be strong.
Not at all.
I was gonna tell you off for peeling your potatoes, and then I realized why you're peeling potatoes. And it's like I can't see off for peeling your potatoes, but it's like I'm up because just but I don't know why you have to do that. So it's set engaged to like go why. Well, you're peeling your potatoes because your son's going to want to eat dinner, and there's salt in the skin of the potatoes, which is why you have to peel your potatoes. Because we've had this conversation about peeling potatoes, and I'm like, but I never peel my potato. But I never peel my potatoes ever. Like I don't peel anything. If it's got a skin on it and I can eat it and consume it, I eat it because I'm always like, oh, nutritional. I should eat that.
Oh no, it depends what I'm cooking.
Yeah. See,
okay, guys, how's that sound? Did my sound just get remarkably better?
Yeah, you're going through the right microphone now, mate.
Yeah, I was going through the wrong microphone. That's why it was. There you go.
Yes,
yeah, there we go.
Yourself as well.
God, oh my God, I can't believe you've
That's
been
a little bit
shitty sound quality that whole time. No wonder no one wanted to hang around and listen. My sound quality would have been shite. But yes, Kim, no, unfortunately, I do have to peel my potatoes.
I feel really sad now because the small person never gets to have like the fun of eating potato skins. That's like the best bit.
The small person can't eat spinach or kumara or very many
spinach
strawberries.
because of
give me all the spinach.
Oxalic acid.
The oxalate acid. Yeah,
oxalates. Is that tied to the salt thing? Is that interconnected?
So there
are a salt group.
There are two different. There are two different stones that people with kidney issues can form. You can either phone calcium. The most common one is a calcium something stone.
Mm-hmm.
Calcium binds with.
Oh, I can't remember now. It's too long. Sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't read it in years.
Anyway, that's the most common one. And whenever anyone hears that he forms kidney stones,
vitamin B, you need 4 calcium.
Yes, that's an issue too. We'll talk about it in a second. But anyway,
I don't know if it was related, but
no, there's. So people always assume it's that one, and they say to me, "I'll cut out red meat." I'm like, no, he has to do the opposite. And they're like, no, you have to cut out red meat. I'm like, no. Unfortunately, I was a vegan before I had this child, and I went and sat with a dietitian and went through our diet. And my dietitian looked at me and said, "I'm really sorry. You are the healthiest eating person I've ever had to tell. We need to change your entire diet."
Yeah.
Because I was making things like ricotta and spinach cannelloni.
And he's like, and it's like everything he can't eat in one go.
Yeah. So, anyway,
I made a pumpkin spinach and ricotta lasagna for my housemate's husband, and he does not eat vegetables, and he's like, "This is really fucking good, actually."
Really good.
Yeah, it is.
But I know. And everyone sort of goes, "Oh, you can get sausages and you can do this and you can do that." And I'm like, yeah. But the kind of stones that he formed are the much rarer sort of calcium oxalate stones. And the problem with the calcium, the problem that is particular to my child, we're not sure why he has this issue at all. This is what's causing it is basically his kidneys are pulling an excessive amount of calcium out of his blood. Like they're just pulling an excessive amount of calcium out. And so it literally, like, you can see the debris on his ultrasound. The last time we went for an ultrasound, it was at a new ultrasound place because we just transferred all of his medical information over. And the guy was looking at it and he goes, "Whoa, there's a lot of debris here." And I said, "Oh, no, that's," I went, "Oh my goodness, that looks so much clearer. Thank goodness that looks so much clearer." And the ultrasound tech's going like, "Holy shit, there's a lot of debris here." And I went, no, there's not. There is not. We're fine, my dude. Like,
he's an overachiever.
Fine. He's an overachiever, absolutely. But that means that the kind of things that, because his body keeps pulling out an irregular amount of calcium, there's not much we can do on that field until we can solve the underlying health issue, which they are trying to figure out what even that is, what is causing that to happen. His kidney wasn't draining as quickly, which was caused by another underlying issue, which was a kink in the ureter, which they tried to widen with a stent. And that's when they figured that his body was actually producing these stones at such a rapid rate that the dilation in the kidney retaining the fluid, didn't account for the formation of the stone. They were just putting it down to the fact that because his kidneys weren't draining properly, that's why he was forming stones. When they put the stent in, they realized, that's not it, because we've got a physical stent in to hold this open now. And they had, within 2 days, they had to pull the stent out because it was so encrusted with calcium, with the oxalate calcium stone.
They're a problem on their own, not a result of a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when they figured out that his calcium, his blood, his kidneys were overworking and pulling all this calcium out, which is why they were retaining such fluid, because it was happening on both sides. And on the left side, they could see a kink in the ureter. So they went, that's the problem with it. They couldn't see an issue on the right side. And so they just theorized that there was a blood vessel that was crossing it occasionally and occasionally causing an issue with it. But because it was only intermittent, it wasn't going to be as much of an issue of the left side, so they didn't need to operate. They never caught this on camera. They never saw this happening. This is just the theory of why the right kidney sometimes does the same thing the left kidney does, even though there's no explanation.
Yep. I'm reminded of a mate of mine works in theatres. He's a theatre nurse, like high up, as high as you can be as a nurse type thing. And he describes his work. So he does orthopedic surgery stuff, and then he does like gallbladders and other bits and pieces. So he, like, for anyone who doesn't know, nurses can become the thing where you become basically like a surgical nurse. So you're like a surgeon, but you're not qualified to be a doctor. You're qualified to be a nurse and still do surgery.
That's what my sister's training to do at the moment. So you have to be like a nurse and then an RN nurse and then have a certain amount of experience.
But they have to be,
then
you have to have theatre of like theatre nurse like specialties, and then past theatre nurse specialties, you become like this person. Anyway, this is what my best mate from like my whole childhood, like from childhood. Like,
I love that we all have someone doing the same thing.
I have another friend who's an anaesthetist, so I'm like, if ever get knocked out and something cut open, like you guys are on call, but this is good.
I have a friend who's an
I have EDS. I definitely need to talk to a good anaesthetist.
But the weird thing is like that my mate who's this nurse, he would describe his work as being like a carpenter of the body, as in like we just basically like go in and we like have like all the same tools that like carpenter does, and we just like saw shit up and then like stick it back together again, screw things together. But like it doesn't matter if we're very neat, like it doesn't have to be like carpentry level, like neat, because no one's ever going to see it, and the body heals itself. So it's like it's all fucked.
And the most important,
I don't need anything.
The most important thing to do is and the most important thing for them to do is to be quick, because the quicker they are, the less chance there is to introduce infections and other issues, secondary issues to arise. So it's actually better just to be as quick as possible, to be as precise as possible, but as quick as possible, which means that aesthetics does not count into it at fucking all.
I've had so much surface skin misstitched that I'm under no illusion that my insides are anything but an absolute jumble of mess. Like,
best thing, I've had a dermatologist say to me, my GP is a dermatologist, and she said the best thing you can do if you get like a wound like that, she said literally like wash it out, put some paw over it, hold it together, and like stick it back together with like wound dressing. She said it'll come out 10 times better than anything you get done in a hospital, I promise.
I mean, given one was my hoo-ha.
One was also my hoo-ha. That wasn't going to work for that. That was a little more complicated. I couldn't move when that had to be stitched, though. So, absolutely not.
I was in the room when that happened. I was not best pleased.
No, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun for anyone.
It wasn't enjoyable.
I was giggling. I was giggling so much they were concerned I was in shock. And I was like, of course I'm in shock. A human just ripped out of me. My body ripped in two. And I can breathe in for the first time in 9 months. I can feel my lungs filling with oxygen. Of course I'm of course I'm out of my fucking mind. I haven't felt oxygen in months. Like, what the fuck?
My foster mother was cracking up laughing, and I was still coming to terms with the fact that it just happened, because I'd only been told 10 minutes earlier that I wasn't even in labor.
Oh my God.
So I was spending the time going upstairs going, oh God, if this isn't labor, I'm literally actually going to die. Like, oh, fuck. Oh no. Oh goddamn. Oh shit me fuck. No. Yes, exactly. Going through transition while having these.
Going, you're not even in labor.
And then I get upstairs, I lay down, and the midwife is like, so I don't want to alarm you or anything, but at any moment you're welcome to push. And I went, what the fuck did you just say? And honestly, it was too later, and I went, what room are we in? What?
Yeah, what world are we in?
And then everyone's doing everything, and then there's a placenta there, and I'm like, what just happened? Can somebody let me know?
with my second, I'd been having contractions for like 2 weeks prior, and so I was just it was on their due date, and we were at an appointment to have a scan for my kids' kidney stones, because we have to have we used to have scans every 3 months. Now it's every year. Actually, he's due for a scan. Remind me, I've got to do that tomorrow because I forgot to do it today. Fuck, I've got to book him in for that.
Not it.
It's okay, Belle will. Belle loves me.
Reminding of things.
Yeah, Belle's a good mum. Belle's a very
When
good
we're
mama.
in the commune, I'm just gonna send her my diary. Like, she will be my calendar keeper.
Oh, we're
and
going to
your
have a
appointment,
centralised office,
please
don't you
see-
worry.
Please see
We're
my
gonna-
secretary, Belle.
We're going to have a centralised office where no doubt Belle and I will be working most of the day, me just shooting things at the wall and Belle like crying. No, we'll be in the garden.
I will
most of
be
the day.
organising all of the stationery.
We can
Please
be
I'll
in
be
the
dressed.
garden
I'll be dressed like
all
something out of the
day.
Dark Crystal with a large staff out the front, shaking my stick at the building to say that it is not welcome here and that it should leave
Oh,
instantaneously.
awesome. Perfect.
Paperwork should only
With some
be
kind
for
of some kind
rainy
of like
days.
dramatic art in response to paperwork because I've stopped
Yeah,
caring about such things.
no.
I stopped caring. I literally could document it because I sent Belle a message saying I have done this thing and now I'm going for a walk. And Belle sent me back a message saying you're bouncing off. I said I think I'm bouncing off the walls, and Belle said
No,
yes,
we haven't
you are
forgotten the
bouncing off the
chat.
walls.
We haven't forgotten there's a chat. Oi, King,
Mine
Tamara,
died.
and Lily.
It's not uploading
Yeah.
on mine.
It's not like
That's
It's not
him and
uploading on
Lily.
my StreamYard stream, and I can't see the tablet.
Yeah, it just
Fine,
takes a
make
while.
me-
It does take
I
a little while.
Killed it when I
Why?
decided to focus on these.
Hello, Juzzy. Juzzy's joined us. It is it is taking a little while to load up sometimes with the internet. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, no, if we have like, I don't know. I just think, yeah,
I'm a drink of water.
it's a rainy day today, so you know. Today's a good day for paperwork doing, so I am going to be getting the paperwork done. So I'm going to put a poll up for some names. What were the name suggestions? You guessed
can't
correctly
remember. It's
again.
been
You
too
did, Juzzy. So it was
Yay.
Hearth Builder. I think Hearth Building, or Building Heart and Hearth, or
Heart of the Hearth.
Heart of the Hearth, Heart and Hearth, Hearth
Hi.
Builders, Hearth Community. Something like, you know, anyway, come up with like 5 suggestions that, like, you know, come with ideas of community and warmth and connection. And because that's the thing you got to do whenever you do one of these what do you call it? This is what my marketing class has taught me. This is, you know,
It's
do you
marketing
know it
101.
do you know literally? Oh, you already put it in the Discord. Look at
Oh,
Belle go.
I'm sorry, but Belle will also drive halfway.
Um,
Yeah, that was a long time ago. All right, everybody can beat me up.
I wasn't looking
so-
either.
That's all.
oh mother,
I
you guys are
can't
right. Oh
be
mother, everyone, I
trusted to
knew
think
it. So
Of
on the
more than one thing at a time.
on the Discord, where did you put it? Is it under events for
Very
the
fancy, very demure.
party planning?
With
There's
my-
a new tab.
With my Loch
Together we
Ness and
build. Heart
Bigfoot
of the
alien
heart.
shirt.
Oh, Belle's got the name suggestions.
Very
She's got welcome
classy.
to hashtag party planning already on there. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, we've got an information channel. Okay.
And yes, this is
Um,
my face at the moment. I'm not
Fantastic.
currently having an allergic reaction to anything, but I am
I
in
am
a terrible
with capitalism and I can't get
moment
away
of my
from it.
cycle. So, yeah.
Party
Oh, no,
planning.
no,
Perfect.
I'm not in that.
There's a party planning tab. Oh my gosh, amazing. So I'll put in there an event for the meeting, which is going to be on Tuesday. I've just got to get a time, figure out a time with Amy, what time it's happening at.
I read that as ATM face, and now all I can think of is like the Stepford Wives when the money. Ooh.
It creates kidney stones, sweetheart. I've got to peel off the skin because it creates.
I put the
Ah.
thing in and that one.
Very cool.
That's a good one.
Very cool.
Look at still here.
Yep. Oh, it shoots little things.
Yeah.
That's so cool. The kids have made little things with their Lego that actually shoot.
I made it.
Very cool.
And I made a cat cage.
Or like something with foundation,
Oh, yeah.
because like itself will be a foundation of the community, the
Yes.
politics,
and foundations I
Mm.
like, because it's not necessarily about providing a foundation, but it's about like making sure you've got your foundation. It's about examining
Yeah.
foundations. It's about
that is the foundation so that everybody can build upon themselves, the
yeah.
community, the land,
Because like
everything.
because the way that I'm sort of and let me know what you think, if you think this sounds like fucking whatever, but okay, so there's several different layers to what we're doing. So we've got the church. We have to have the church, right? Because a not-for-profit is not allowed to run to benefit its members. So what we actually, the way we're structuring it, kind of like the thing that the plan is at this point, unless I'm told differently by Amy on Tuesday, we'll find out then, is that we have a church, the Void, and the church owns and operates the not-for-profit, whatever it's going to be called. You know,
Can the church just be the Church of the Void?
Yeah, it's just going to be the Church of the Void. That's it. Yeah,
because I kind of like to pray into the void.
Yeah, and that is like 100. Like that is literally because we need to have you need to have like a you know, it's like yeah, the church is the Church of the Void, and that's done, sold. Oh, good. And it needs to be nice and easy, snappy, memorable. And so, and that way as well, we can get away with having an unpaid CEO, because that's really important.
Always walkie-talkies.
Because you're no longer hired by people with a paycheck. You're elected by the religious community as a clergy person. You get it? You get it? So then it's
get
not
it,
up
good.
to, get it good. So then it becomes a lot more collective and a lot less corporatized. It also means we can get away with paying everyone a lot less by being like, here, you're provided with food and housing and everything you need.
Motivates.
So yeah, here's 20 grand a year to do this job instead of 50 grand a year because I can't afford to pay you that much. But you can also just not work for the commune and just live there and go and do whatever the fuck you want. That's also an option too. You don't have to like.
So my plan for dressing up like characters from films that no one understands anymore and like standing around shaking a stick at things is probably like, you know, comes out of like the budget for like the arts department somehow.
100%. Entertainment.
Cool. As long as I don't actually need paying. I hate being paid.
I mean,
like, let's not pay me and I'll be happy.
No, we need
depending on what you're saying, it's also a form of sermon.
Yes.
True.
That is a form of sermon, absolutely religious.
About the only interesting
expression.
thing on the list. Well, the only interesting thing on the list of like master's degree courses I could do is like, you know, masters of divine service and theology. So you know, it may well come to it next year when I get bored of being harassed by the government.
The other thing is as well though is that you can get grants and things from private organisations for things like, for example, say Lily. Wanted to do training to become a community service worker because, you know, we're going to be running programs and things for the community as well because that's what I do. It's my meat and potatoes. So say Lily turns around and goes, oh, yeah, I want to be a community service worker. I need to go and do a Certificate 3 in community services in order to be able to. Do you want to chop these up and put them onto boil for me, kiddies? Buddy?
I say, no, I don't. Thanks. But I mean, I would do, but I'm not there.
Hard pass, actually.
Thanks. He's like, good save, Mum. I'm like, thanks. That's pretty cool, buddy.
Always so supportive.
What was I going to say? What was I saying? If someone could pay me to look like the dude, that'd be swell. Yeah. Speaking of foundation, should I buy a walkie-talkie for the Nullarbor? If you want, I guess. You have been trying to get your hands to be able to throw tissues in that fireplace for the last 3 days. Just chop them up and rinse them and put them in the pot, and I'll come and put it on.
No. Mummy, what do you think this is?
Banana.
Oh, so you're not hungry? You're not going to eat tonight?
Fine, I'll cut them up.
Spaghetti.
It looks like a cafe.
No, it's a boat.
Oh, it's a cat cage.
It's
Do you want to help your brother chop up the potatoes for the pot?
So close.
Well, they're gonna be mashed in the end, so just chop them up. Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
chop them up so they're small enough that they boil quickly.
Oh, Belle's got it sorted.
Together we build homes, pathways, communities. Yeah, I like that. Community builders, building homes, pathways. Hearth builders. What about hearth builders? Who was the guy that did the illustrations? The puppeteer. This is starting to sound real hippie. Dom, had you not picked up on the hippie vibes earlier?
What do you
This
mean
is
only
first-
starting?
We've
No,
been
hippies. No, hippies are all violent fucking right wingers. It's not true, Dom. You don't know your history of hippiness. The only good hippie was what's his face? Who wrote that book? Steal This Book. Whatever that guy was. He was the only useful
God.
hippie.
I was going to
Abby
say,
Hoffman.
like, we've been sitting around smoking weed all day, talking about building a commune. Like, I don't know why that is the stereotypical hippie. Though I will say there has been a lot of talk about how do
I
we
just
avoid
want to love
becoming a
everybody
cult.
and bake a cake.
I just want to I just want to be friends with
I
everyone.
just want to bake a cake and share our feelings.
I wish to make a play about my feelings.
I am very excited.
I'll be front row. I
Okay,
love that.
I know hippies.
There
That's why I hate
there
them.
won't be any rows. It just sort of happens as an organic piece of theatre.
We're not
They
going to be
should have-
actual
Stop.
hippies. We're just going to be.
I have always wanted to carve.
You had me at
one of
performance
those.
art.
Yeah, I always wanted to carve one of those amphitheater things out of stone and put it together and just leave it in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
I can fuck with that.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have to make sure we've got plenty of land. That's like we're not.
We'll just do it in the bush somewhere. No one will care.
We've got this. That is.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
this
did
is
come
the
up-
plan. Yeah.
I did come up with a good idea. Do you know any farmers who've got a crop of wheat at the moment tomorrow out your way that would let me like squash some of it? Because I want to take a picture of something. Do you know any farmers well enough that they would let me squash some wheat?
The ones that I do know, nah, no fucking way they'd let you touch their crop, not even a little bit. I actually, when we had, I went out and chatted with a friend out this way a while back, and wanted to take the kids out to stand in the field to take a photo, like to show how high it was, and he was offended that I even asked. Not even just squash it, just to stand in the field. He was like, "You're going to go out there and infect my crop. You're going to go out there with your children and tamper with my crop." Like I'm offended you'd even ask me, and I was like,
they're all a bit excited. Wheat.
Very. Oh yeah, I know weed farmers who wouldn't have a problem with it. They'd be like, "Yeah, we're about to take them down. You can jump on it first if you like." They wouldn't care.
Yeah, it's not, the weird thing is, do you know Sol Lewitt's drawings? There's like 1,200 of these things, but there's like Sol Lewitt's drawings. They're
I probably
basically
know it
like
if I saw it.
Yeah, okay. So there's a bunch of things that happen in Sol Lewitt's drawings, but one of the number 49 is what I'm interested in doing, and it's a bunch of like like yellow lines, and then there's like blue lines, and then there's red lines, and then there's black lines, right? Type thing, and then it all mixes up and does something. And I was like, that'd be really, really fun to play with if you did that like in a field. Like you could do that in a field, like a crop circle, but like form it as a piece of art, and then it would like be transitory because the crop obviously would be picked up and taken away, and it wouldn't exist apart. Like the piece of art would never be you can't represent it again because it's transitory. The weird things that my brain does when I start looking at art books. That's why I should be an art student. Oh,
I like it.
But back to the amphitheater, can we have it as like a 70s conversation pit style instead?
Yes.
I do like that.
Dug into the ground.
Like a groove.
Because that sounds pretty. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. There's some great ones.
And then we
around
can
the world.
use the dirt that we've dug out of that for houses.
For houses, yeah. There's a great one built in a private high school that I know of it's like Cambridgeshire, but it's not like a toffee. It's a toff school, but it's not like the toffee school in Cambridge. It's one of the smaller ones, and they had all of the year 7s come in when they first come in, and they all like made some steps. It was like one of the things they built was like this fucking amphitheater in like the 70s, and it took them like a decade to build it because they got all the kids to come in and like do it, and it was like the best thing ever.
I'm going to pull up like a map. Hang on a second.
Where's this brain going, T?
Well, looking for locations. I'm looking for locations for land. That's where it's going. So I'm just going to turn on, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to have...
Depends how much we want.
Yeah.
And where.
Well, the where
because there's a lot of very cheap places with a lot of land, like Tara in Queensland has a fuck ton of land available, but there's a few iffy things going on environmentally. But like land-wise would be.
Well, this is the thing. Based on the research that we've done on climate change situation, we want to be a lot further south than that. So we're looking at the moment at sort of the Great Southern and WA, and that's actually the reason that I brought down here was because I did the research around climate change and where was going to be the least.
See, personally, like with because I've got like an alert on real estate because I'm a sucker for punishment. Yeah, but I've been looking at like South Australia, like and going towards the WA kind of side, but that's only because I'm from here as well, like.
And that South Australia is quite good as well. But the main problem is where it's going to be good and stay good is already quite expensive as well. This is the other problem.
Yeah.
So a lot of
especially with accessible beaches.
Especially with accessible beaches, that is a large problem. Gotcha. No front of. Oh, I have art to make. Who's assholes?
That's me. Wheat farmers not letting me use their wheat.
Oh, they are. I know.
I'm typing back Dom in chat. Oh,
no, your best bet. I was going to say your best bet is to just sneak out in the field and do it, and have them just bitch about it on the local Facebook page in the morning, and not know.
That's okay because I don't look. Well, at Facebook.
Wheat
so it doesn't affect me.
Exactly.
Wheat is a good crop to just plant, and then you can just do it yourself. When I'm getting a garden set up and like.
Oh, that's true. We're going to be able to plant our own wheat.
What's it called?
What you want with it. Be right back. No worries, Bill.
Words.
So this is. I've just randomly pulled up Domain. Just randomly. This is what this
You're
is.
a Domain girl. See, this is our first difference. I always go for realestate.com immediately. Ooh.
No. I'm with you, Bill. Realestate.com.
No. Both of you.
Interesting.
No.
Interesting.
You got to stop. I am a realestate.com girl, and the reason I pulled up Domain is because I'm on realestate.com so often you'd immediately know where I was based on realestate.com. So I had to pull up Domain so I didn't dox myself.
Look at you being smart and sexy. God damn it.
Sorry. I grew up in real estate, and I have a paid realestate.com subscription. So...
Jesus.
All right, now I'm in Oregon.
I will defend real estate. I'm not defending real estate. Realestate.com is shit. It's the worst. I hate them.
Oh, it's crappy as fuck, but
so fucking,
it's the go-to.
Could have just used private mode. Yeah, no, Dom, I didn't. I couldn't be bothered doing that. I just went to Domain because I'm not even logged into Domain. So I was like, I know it's going to be fine. I never go on there. Yeah, literally never go on there. It knows nothing about me.
Fine, makes sense. God, I hate this. Logic.
I just love that you picked up on it because I was like, oh,
yeah.
This is so good. Because it'll have like your 5 top searches, and here are the last 4 properties listed since you last searched, and here's your because I've also got my property profile loaded up into realestate.com. So whenever I load up, the first thing that pops up is my property profile, so I can click on it. It's like your address is listed to click on and be like, how's your property doing?
Oh yeah. No.
Yeah.
See, I chronically want to run away, so my real estate is never set anywhere near me. It's always like far away.
Oh.
as I'm fantasizing about the different versions of myself that wish to flee in different directions.
Well, I was going to say.
I chronically make bad purchases, and that means I never have any money. So therefore, I can't run away. So I just stopped looking at realestate.com because I worked out that was fucking social housing.
Well, now you
Fucking
need to
piss off.
start. I was going to say, now you need to start looking at property. So we need to start looking at land and land opportunities. We need to start doing like research onto locations.
Well, I've been looking for versions for me because obviously, but
obviously,
for collective, I will expand. Right.
Well, no, you don't just need to look. I was going to say, look, you look where you're looking. That's what I'm looking here because this is where I'm looking at.
Oh, I would also then be having to expand land sizing.
Yes.
And financing options, like the budget would obviously change, the size of land would be changing from what I would then be looking for personally. Like,
well, this I've just literally clicked in rural. I haven't even put in land size or anything. I haven't done any filters.
Fuck. I love that word so much.
What?
Rural.
I
love. I love and hate the rural.
For offers over 790. Okay, where are you located, bitch? You're supposed to show me on the map where you're located. Where you are. That's what I mean. I'm like, where are you on the map? That's what I want to know.
Is it sponsored? So it could be anywhere.
Oh yeah,
30-ish seconds to add.
Fucking hell, stupid thing. All right.
Look at me paying attention when I've never seen one in my life.
I was gonna say, I
don't recognize myself sometimes.
I haven't been paying any attention. I feel terrible. I'm a terrible human being.
Don't have to. See, sharing.
Yeah, but the only person who ever complains about ads in the chat is me, and I'm here talking to you, and I can't see the ads. So I'm cooking dinner, so it doesn't matter. You haven't stopped me from getting up, making a cup of tea, or getting a glass of water. I haven't been stopping around the bathroom, washing my hands properly. I'm currently cooking my dinner.
Sorry about being in your way.
It's great.
I'm going to put this into the newest property listing. We're going to put it in order of new. So what size do we think we're going to need? 606 hectares in Franklin, Cranbrook?
Oh, at least 7 billion acres, I reckon.
I think you need more than 100. I think you need more than 100 acres, which is more than 50 hectares.
Well, this is 606 hectares, Kim.
606 hectares. That's big enough to get lost in.
606 land definitely found.
That's big enough that if you don't want to see me, I'm not there.
Yeah, this is 2 million.
Oh, my house isn't going to have external windows, only skylights, so I won't see anyone I don't want to.
I'm going to go to view neighborhood map here, and it's a Franklin River. Hang on a sec.
Owie.
Casual murder in the background.
Just some violence in the background there.
I am going to have to sign off in like 2 seconds because they are getting to that point where
they're past everything. That's all right. It's late.
They're past it. They're actually past it. So this is already listed as a farm, which is handy. And also the good thing about being 606 hectares is you can put as many fucking tiny houses on this as you want. No one's fucking coming to check. No one's coming to check what you're doing on 606 hectares. No one's going to give a fuck.
Oh, to be a kid again.
All right, I'm going to start a tab. I'm going to start a chat like under book club. Not under book club. Under the other one. What's the other one called? Party planning. We're going to start party planning as a text channel. Here we go.
I need to turn alerts on Discord because I forget that it exists until we're doing something, and then it's like, I'm going to put a link in that, and then I look at it then, and then I forget it exists again.
Me too. I sense it's like it's what do you call it? ADHD marbles. You shake the marbles and whatever comes to the top at the time.
Tamara, you're muted.
Yeah, because the kids got real wild.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I thought you got halfway through your sentence and actually muted yourself. Very confusing. Like with marbles and then what? And I'm like, what the fuck happened to my computer? I was really interested in that conversation.
The ADHD marbles, you shake the jar and whatever comes to the top. It's like, that's what I'm talking about today. That's what I'm doing.
She has to be quick sometimes to make sure she doesn't catch the kids saying something.
Yep.
Yeah. Because they come just straight up to me and they're just like, this person's full name, address, and date of birth just called me a fuck. I'm like, what?
Oh, I love kids so much.
Aren't they the best? So I'm going to put in here property. What are we going to call it? Property porn. I'm calling it property porn. Okay.
Oh.
Post any suggestions for what do I call it? Commune spaces.
Commune land. Yep. I have probably. Yep. There's. Yep.
For us
Do you want
all,
my whole of my PhD? Do you want my whole of my PhD? And I'll just use the word. No, I'm just about to use the word landscape in a sentence.
Does anyone have / remember where to find like the doomsday type prep maps where it does show like possible water things like that, so that we can overlay types with locations?
I did know. Yes,
Victoria,
that's why
but I
I
don't know
picked
where-
where I am.
I know that it's somewhere in my. I've sent it to myself, but
Yeah,
I have
you want-
ADHD
You want
and
map. You want the Vic Maps thing is the one.
Yeah.
Is the equivalent of what you're after, but you want it per. It's per state.
There is Landgate also does one. Do you guys have Landgate in other states, or is that just West Australia?
I think that's just. I think Landgate is the West Australian one.
Okay. So yeah, Landgate has one, and you have to put all the parameters into it. And then I did do one and make a screen, and I can't remember if I sent it to myself or if it's saved somewhere.
yeah, see, I've got a screenshot of what my result came up with, like my main locations, but that's all.
Yeah, so Landgate's the one in WA. Mapshare Vic or Land.Vic is the one in Victoria. I haven't got the one for South Australia because, like, I'm never moving to South Australia because they can't build roads in South Australia. Look, don't get me wrong. I went to visit. It was lovely. I enjoyed the red dirt and the Mallee country, and it was really interesting. They had an ibis sanctuary. I was excited
it's pretty,
by the
but
ibis
it's
sanctuary.
fucking stupid.
But it's like I'm not living here. I can't
forgot
get
what it
the
was
fucking water out
called
of the ground.
I got to LAN and then my pen died and then I forgot what it was.
What land?
Damn it!
Hang on. Land
Okay.
Gate. Landgate.
Gate.
West Australian one. And Land.Vic or Mapshare Vic is the same thing, but yeah, Land.Vic is the same deal in Victoria.
Perfect. So
And I'm not moving to Queensland.
I'll see what I can find in relation.
Share some resources. So I'll do the same sort of thing for WA, and then we can pinpoint places to specifically look at. And I was also looking at where we should put, once we've got the board meeting on Tuesday, the next thing will be to either start like the Kickstarter or the GoFundMe, like the whatever, like the funding request. So we need to figure out where to put that for the community funding request.
As in where to put that?
What
What do you mean where to put that?
So like most not-for-profits and things will have on there, directly on their website, a place where you can, like, people can donate to the not-for-profit or to the community or whatever. Like, they'll just do it directly to them. Yeah, because we're just starting up, we have to have a third party host it until we're incorporated and registered. So yeah, trying to figure out where to put that.
which one to use is
A question.
I didn't know like what
what we would
category of things you would
Yeah.
I didn't know which filing cabinet of information in my head to open.
Yes, I get you. I get you. More information required to know why this is necessary. Yes. And this is the good thing as well with having a whole heap of bunch of
just like more search terms for the computer.
Having a whole heap of ADHD autistic people in the cult means you're always going to get questioned on shit, so you can't hide shit. You can't be secretive about shit. You can't be underhanded. The minute I'm like, I'm going to start asking people for money.
Such a fucking good point.
The minute I'm like, I'm going to start asking people for money, Lily's like, excuse me, why?
I thought we didn't like money.
Yeah. What do you
Money
think
doesn't
about?
exist in the real world.
You can have $1.
Oh yeah, literally. Like you don't have to request like specific amounts or try and sell anything. It's literally just like we're a not-for-profit dedicated to providing housing services. We're a group of people. This is our aim. This is our goal.
I will quite literally do chocolate fundraising and go on my little wheelchair around the neighborhood and like milk sympathy to
Do
raise
it.
money.
Yes.
Like,
Actually, offline.
if
you
people are
and I-
going to look at me with pity,
yeah.
I'm
oh,
going to
you-
get something out of it.
You're gonna weaponize that pity, like that.
It's the
that,
same
that
reason.
you know,
100%.
It's the same reason.
absolutely.
when kids
I've
were
done it my whole
younger-
life.
It's the same reason when the
Weaponized
kids were
privilege.
younger, I used to dress them up in their cutest little clothes. When I needed to go to Centrelink, I would wait until just after lunchtime, and I hadn't fed them, and I'd wait until like it was just before nap time, and I'd go into Centrelink, and I'd go in and I'd get set up. Within 10 minutes of being here, both of my beautiful little children would be crying and losing their shit, and I'd be getting more and more, and I'd have food in the pram ready to go for them. Like I wasn't trying to torture my kids, but within 10 minutes, someone's come up to me and said, "Do you want to come through and help you out real quick?" And I'd be like, "Oh, thank you so much." Like, oh, like it's so stressful, you know. And then
God,
like
it doesn't work with people I like or like people I care about. It's only strangers, I promise. Because
Tamara, where's the best place? to
I'm
send your shit?
not an invalid, and I like nobody needs to feel sorry for me legitimately, and so it doesn't work.
I was talking to people, young people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off. I've got to go cook dinner. Someone else is trying to step in and take over. So
Felt like that
note
happened.
to self: never feel sorry for Lily. She's just trying. They're just trying to manipulate us. They're just trying to manipulate you. If you see them in the dirt, tipped over, crying out for help, it's a trap.
That's just cruel.
It's unconscious. I can do it myself. Tell me to toughen up.
Literally,
Just
you
run
look at
around a
them
bit,
in the-
baby. You'll be alright.
Look at
You'll
them
be alright.
crying in the rain, going, "Help! I know your tricks, woman."
Do not ever react to my tears. I cry at literally everything. Everything makes me
No.
cry.
I of course will react to your tears. Don't pretend. I can't not. Don't pretend. Like no, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good cry. All right, I do have to go. Do you want me to just sign off though? I can just leave and you guys can keep going.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna go make dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should
Where's
probably
the-
keep humaning.
But I'm just like this tab is just showing like there's a lot of see this place up
What
here.
were the parameters that you put in your search there?
Rural Western Australia.
But like, so you just did any size, any
Yeah, I
money?
didn't do any other
yeah. No narrowing.
No narrowing whatsoever because I'm really just doing work like
Noted.
What vegetable do you want in the shepherd's pie?
Okay, I'm gonna get
Corn.
up in 2 seconds.
What one do you want?
All right, I gotta go. 'Cause the
Zucchinis.
attitude's really starting.
Mum, Dad asked me
Okay,
to
bye.
I know. I'm getting off. Okay.
No, you don't have to
Bye.
All right.
What?
Bye.
Bye, everyone.